Monster of the Week. The gang has just finished a fantastic greasy lunch at Mel's Diner. And you made a phone call to Mrs. Janice O'Donovan, who, after a conversation with you, is willing to have you over to her home. So you guys drive in the big mobile over to her home. You take up 4 parking spots on the street.
Yes.
Her block is pretty sad looking. There are 5 of the 10 houses interspersed on that block have for sale signs on them, and they look very empty. Like you see like newspapers piled up outside, the yard hasn't been mowed, that kind of stuff. Her house seems to be in decent shape. It's a small, like little white Cape Cod, and there's flowers out front. And as you guys are pulling up, you see a kid who maybe looks like, 11, 12, 13, like that kind of middle school age. And you just see him standing on the sidewalk, not right in front of her house, like one house over, but he's like standing on the sidewalk staring at her house.
Hey kid, what are you doing?
Well, you pull up and, get out of the truck, presumably. You say that to him?
Yeah.
There's no reaction.
He's in a trance.
Yo, what the hell's wrong with this kid?
There's something wrong with that kid. Yeah, spooky. I have to go check that out. I'm going to read his mind.
You're going to read his mind.
Yes.
Can I walk up to him, give him the whole face swipe,
Okay, so you're walking up to him to do this. You're going to read his mind. Telepathy is faster. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Seems like I'm gonna miss this.
7.
Sarah with a 7.
Plus my plus 2?
Yes.
So that would be a 9.
A 9.
Yes.
Okay. You, here's what you experience. You go into this kid's mind, and initially you kind of pick up his surface thoughts. And his surface thoughts are, find more cats. I need to find more cats. I need to find more cats. Find more cats. There's cats in that house. That lady has cats. Find more cats. Get more cats. You start to delve a little deeper, and instead of hearing his internal monologue, you hear, find more cats. And that is where you get a little scared.
Yeah.
Take 1 harm.
Okay.
You guys are getting out. You notice that Sarah stopped and she was kind of concentrating on that kid while John was walking towards the kid. And then you see like a little blood come out of her nose, like a little nosebleed. Thanks, Stranger Things. John Johnson, you walk over to this kid and you do this thing. Nothing happens at first, and then he goes, oh, hey, mister.
You all right, kid?
Yeah?
What are you doing out here?
And he looks, he's like, where's my bike? And he looks around, he goes, I was riding my bike, going to the park. And he seems genuinely confused. He's like, what block is this? And he seems like kind of not scared, but like a little confused. And he sort of turns and he starts walking back towards the main road.
Before he goes, guy, I want to ask him if he knows anything about the cats at this house.
Okay. So you...
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you know anything about these cats here?
And he stops and he looks at you and he goes, cats? What cats?
Apparently there's some missing cats, and the lady living here is blaming the kids.
He looks up and down the block and he goes, I don't know anybody on this block. None of my friends live here.
Do you need help getting home?
No, I know where I live, but I don't know where my bike is. I was riding my bike. He says, I don't know how I got here. And he starts to tear up a little bit.
You want to sit in the cool truck, buddy?
I don't know.
Don't offer to the little kid, hey, come hang out in my car.
Doesn't that make it easy for you?
I'm not trying to eat a kid.
He sort of turns. He's like, no, thanks. I'll just walk back to the park and see if my bike's there. And you see he starts briskly walking back down the block.
I'm going to look back at the group, see what they're doing, if they acknowledge that or what they're doing back at the truck.
Okay. You guys are all outside of the truck. You saw Sarah have a moment.
I was the nosebleed.
Sarah's got a nosebleed.
I have the
Yeah.
What's up, Sarah?
You have a little bit of a dull headache right now.
Okay.
Like,
So you'll lose.
Well,
And I can tell them what I heard, right?
I'll walk back to the group with you guys and say, there was something wrong with that kid.
Yes, I read his mind, and he just kept saying, get more cats over and over, and then all of a sudden there was like this really like growling, like, get more cats, and this like robotic voice that was like scary. And then I had a nosebleed. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you know, one of those things.
Right? That kid did not know what he was doing here.
Yeah.
So he didn't know anything about the cat.
He didn't even know why he was on this block. He said he was going to the park.
But Sarah says that he's thinking about cats.
Yes, but there was something that like took over him. Like
I think we got a case of possession.
you know that when you read his mind, he was still staring at the house.
yes. So there's something about that house.
And then he went up and did this and kind of snapped him out of it.
There's something wrong with that house.
Janice has a dirty little secret.
A scary house.
Where would his bike have gone, though? It feels like he would have been possessed before getting to the house to get rid of his bike.
Right. If he walked.
Yeah, if he then
X amount of
walked all the way
blocks.
over there.
As you guys are out here kind of talking about this, Morty, you see out of the corner of your eye like somebody's looking through lace curtains inside the house. And then like you turn and the lace curtains close.
Of Janice's house?
Yeah, and a few moments later, the front door opens, and you see an elderly-looking woman, maybe in her like mid to late 70s, like white hair pulled back into an austere tight bun, with like a blouse and a sweater on. Mind you, it's like 78 degrees. And she comes out, and she says, "Hello." She's like, "Is one of you the man who I spoke on the phone with?"
Yep, that was me.
Oh, well, don't just stand out there. Come, you can come in. Come on.
Okay. So we all move then.
Yeah, follow him in.
Okay, so we go in.
And she kind of like looks at all of you, and as you're coming up the stairs to her modest house, she says, "Well, I'm Janice O'Donovan, and who are you?"
My name's Morty, and we're just passing through. These are my friends here.
Pleasure, Janice. My name's John.
Oh, well, nice to meet you. And you, dear?
I'm Sarah.
Oh, Sarah, that's a nice name. And how about you, young man?
I'm
And she
Ryder.
you see she's kind of like looking at you a little bit. She's like, "Oh, Ryder, that's an interesting name.
Thank you.
Is that German?"
No, it's actually more of a nickname that I got back in high school.
Oh, yes. And
Real name's Clarence.
Clarence. Oh,
Clarence.
well, that's a fine name as well. And how about you, dear?
I'm Vivian.
Oh, well, Vivian, nice to meet you. Well, won't you come in? And you notice that she opens the door, and when she opens the door, you see like a nicely kept, very dated looking house. There's like a hallway. There's a little like front room off to one side, and the hallway kind of goes towards the kitchen, which you see in the background. There's stairs that go up to the second floor, and you see immediately like 3 cats. There's like one perched on the stairs, there's another one kind of back by the kitchen, and then there's another one in the front parlor. And you notice that she holds the door for all of you, and then she closes it right afterwards, and she's like, Come into the parlor, come in, we can have some tea. And she gestures, and you could tell that she has great pride in her front room. Like, the furniture looks like it's in good shape. One of the cats kind of meows at you guys and goes on its merry cat way. She says, "So you saw my flyers. Well, that's good. At least someone has seen them. But you said you haven't seen any of my cats."
At this point, I take the fur out of my pocket.
Why? Jesus.
I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid.
She says, is that Tabby's fur? Did you find Tabby? Where did you find it?
Yeah, but where did you find
Yeah.
At the diner.
right here?
Well, maybe he was looking for food, poor thing.
It wasn't very
That could be,
successful.
yep, that could be.
You don't think something terrible has happened? And she puts her hand on her chest like in terror.
No, I'm sure he was looking for scraps. Down by
And we
the-
don't
the
even know if it
dumpster.
is Tabby's. We, it could just be, it's really worn. We don't even know.
Cats shed their fur all the time.
This is a clump.
Could be a squirrel.
I'm being blunt with her.
She says, well, and she goes over to like, she goes over to one of those like end tables, and now you notice that there's like how people have their family pictures. She has a family picture of all of her cats.
All 7.
And she literally pulls it out and she says, you have no idea how difficult it was for the photographer to get them all to sit still for this. And she passes it around. And indeed in the picture, you notice that there is a, kind of an orange looking cat, and then Coco, Sammy, and then you see these other cats. And one of the cats is like in the room with you meowing. And she goes, come here, dear. Precious, come here. And she picks the cat up, and the cat's like purring, and she's petting the cat. She says, now, my husband has passed away. I don't have a lot of money to retire on, but my cats are all the family that I have left. If any of you dears are willing to look around for my cat, or any of Sammy or Coco, or maybe if you could find Tabby, it would mean the world to me if you could find them.
What happened to your sons?
Well, they're older and they've moved on. They have their own families. One of them lives in Wisconsin. He's got a nice job up there. The other one lives in Missouri. I see them usually. They come home around Christmas time, but as their own children have gotten older, they like to have Christmas in their own homes as well. I understand, but I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm oftentimes alone, and my cats are all that I have.
Do you mind if I look around the house, the outside? 'Cause I know you said it's unlikely your cats escaped on their own, but have you noticed any tampering through windows, or you mentioned kids causing trouble? It seemed like they were hanging around your house trying to get inside.
Well, let me show you. Come, let me show you the backyard. I'll tell you exactly what I've had to do with these kids. And she gets up and starts walking. She sets the cat down on the couch, and you guys walk down the hallway towards the kitchen, and you see a back door, and she unlocks the back door. And when she unlocks the back door, there's a little bell on the back door as she opens it, and you hear a couple of the cats meow. And the one cat that was in the kitchen, when she opens the back door, runs away from the back door, like scurries off. And it's a nice little backyard. She's got like some, gardening areas. There's some, tomatoes growing, and she has like a nice little bench with one of those like umbrellas over it, and you notice that there's all sorts of cat toys in the backyard, and like little, like she's hung like little, fishing line with feathers and stuff from some of the lower branches of the tree in the backyard. And you see the fence is indeed old, like it's an 8-foot tall fence, and there's a gate, and you see that there's like wire wrapped around the gate latch.
Solid wood fence?
Yeah, and she points and she says, I had to wrap the wire around the gate because about 4 days ago, I found 2 children trying to break into my yard.
Did the cats always have a disdain when you go out the backyard? Or was this
Well, no. She said they used to love sitting out here with me. I would come out to the garden and do some work, or sometimes sit on the bench and read a book, and they would come out and play and enjoy the sun. But now they won't come out. I think they're afraid. I think those kids must have done something to terrorize them.
Can I go out and investigate the
Yes.
gate, like where the kids would have been trying to break in?
Yes, yes, you can. As you are kind of looking, you see that it looks like maybe someone tried to use something between the wood post of the fence and the gate to pry
bar.
something. You could see like the indentations of something on the wood.
So these kids were determined to get in and get these cats.
Yeah.
Can I ask Janice, like, has she ever tried interacting with these kids? Like, has she witnessed them trying to get on her property, and has she then tried to strike up a conversation or say something to them to stop?
She says, well, I haven't seen them trying to sneak in here during the day, but one night I heard something going on outside. And I turned on the back light, and she points to the light on the back porch. And I came out here with 2 pans, and I clanked them together, and it must have scared those children away. They ran out the gate.
About how long ago was that?
Oh, I would say about 3 nights ago.
So
It was only a few days after Coco went missing.
I want to pull Sarah aside and say, hey, like, I don't know if these kids realize what they're doing. If they're the same as that kid that we just saw outside in a trance.
I want to step in too and ask Sarah, these cats clearly like have a problem with this area still. Do you sense anything out here still?
Can I read a cat's mind?
Go ahead. This will be interesting. Roll.
Yeah.
I am going to read.
It's something she's
Preciousness.
always wanted to do in life.
I am going to read Precious's mind and see why he's afraid of the back door.
Wow.
11
Oh, I'm so happy with that.
plus 2.
Full disclosure, everybody watching this.
It's a 13 in total.
I have no idea if this game, Monster of the Week, allows for cat telepathy, but I'm going to say, because you killed it on that
With
roll,
a 13.
13.
I'm going to say that you could get kind of like surface impression,
Okay.
things. You get fear. You sense fear.
Okay.
Fear of the outside.
These cats don't like the outside.
I'm going to tell you one more thing because you killed it on that roll. You also sense fear of the basement.
Oh, the cats are afraid of the basement too.
Yeah. Now, I should say that you did see, I told you the stairwell that goes up to the second floor. There's a door opposite side of that goes
That
down
was
to the
downstairs.
basement, but that door was closed when you guys passed through the kitchen. So you guys are kind of by the back porch. She's showing you, you're out by the fence. She's showing you the spot where she had to tie the metal wire around the latch.
I think one of
What
us
are you
can
guys
break
doing
away.
while that is happening?
Yeah. I think I was still kind of up front.
So you're still by the basement door.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's go down that basement. Yeah.
So maybe Leanne and I go, Ryder and I go
Yeah.
explore.
Okay.
Kind of while they're distracting Janice. Not
Okay.
distracting, but occupying
And I'm
Janice.
talking to the cats.
She's talking to the cats. We're kind of reading or kind of looking around the rest of the house, kind of seeing if there's anything else interesting.
Okay. I mean, again, this house looks like she's lived here since the 60s and hasn't updated it. Like it's a solid old wooden door with the old school handle. There's no
Like Christina's house.
yeah. There's no. It's not a modern door. In fact, you see the key, like the skeleton key style of key, like hanging from a piece of twine on the door handle.
Okay.
So it's not even locked. You open it. There's a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. You can flip the switch. Light, wooden stairs. This is an unfinished old school basement.
Perfect.
By the way, what guns are you carrying? No, I'm just kidding. I like to fuck with you.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go down.
Yeah.
Creak, creak, old school stairs. Creak, creak, creak. You see a large, open, unfinished basement with a single light bulb piled with so much crap that it is a labyrinth. Like, it looks like a lifetime of things. Just boxes, bins, crates, old shelving units with like blankets and rugs and other things that this woman will never need. There's a cardboard box covered in dust that says John's Toys. There's one of those hanging like zip up kind of wardrobes where, you know, like you could put like clothes that you don't want to get dusty. And as you even get close to it, you're like, mothballs. Like it's everything down here is caked in dust and it's old.
Well, Ryder, do you want to nope the F out of here, or do you want to explore?
We should probably explore. I mean, if the cats are afraid of the basement for whatever reason, there's got to be something here
Okay.
that is causing them to
You guys
freak
gonna
out.
look around?
I think we're going to look
Yeah.
around, start seeing if we can find anything.
It's time to roll investigate.
Okay, where's any of this?
Who's rolling?
You roll first.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got.
Pass the dice roll.
Are you
opposite.
rolling and are you helping him roll? How are
yeah, I would
How does-
rather help because
Okay.
Because I've got plus sharp, so
I got
two.
0 on that, so I would,
Yeah.
yeah, you go at it.
So I got a 7 plus 2, so that's 9.
Okay. You guys are down there for a few minutes. You're kind of walking through these aisles of crap, and again, it's very dimly lit. There's like a single light bulb. You, after a few minutes, when you're kind of near one of the corners, you see that part of like the joists and like the wood of the house that meets the foundation walls looks like it's rotted out. Like there's, like you see sunlight from outside coming through it. And as you get closer, you notice that it's not rot. It looks like something was digging at it or clawing at it or chewing at it. And you feel like maybe if you found this spot on the outside, it might reveal a little more information.
Okay, so if that's, you know, kind of what stands out to us, then we'd head back upstairs.
Yeah.
And, you know, if John is still outside investigating the latch and stuff, we can go see where that kind of...
Consoling Janice and all that.
Yes. Yes. we can go, you know, look at where that is on the outside to see if there's anything.
Okay.
So,
You guys go around and there's like a clutch of like hostas planted right up next to the house, and you kind of pull away. And indeed, the wood looks like something clawed or chewed repeatedly through it, like it was trying to get in from the outside.
from the outside. Okay.
Can we tell if it was like the same creature that had chewed through that rat trap that we had found earlier?
Well, you didn't see that,
That is true. I didn't see that. That's a good point.
but it definitely looks chewed up.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point,
We need to regroup.
I noticed both of them milling around,
Yes.
so I want to investigate
Okay.
because John is hanging out with Janice.
John, by this one, I'm going to say you're taking one for the team. She begins to tell you.
Tell me about your son.
Her son and how, like, you know, her older son, when he was in high school, he was a baseball player, and they almost won the state championship. They were third place in the playoffs,
Toys are
and
downstairs.
his whole life would have been different if he hadn't pulled his ACL. You know, you're just getting the whole
I'm right
lowdown.
there with her. It's-
And she's just kind of going on with this, and you're kind of very patiently engaging her.
am I aware what's going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
you kind of know this routine. You're buying time for them to sort of
Okay.
look around. Smash cut. What is Vivian doing?
Well, I had just finished up asking my questions with Janice, so that's when I noticed these two kind of milling
Yeah, you see them
around,
digging
so-
around by the hostas.
Yeah, so I go over and investigate. Like, what's up, guys? What are we looking at?
Well, we then point to what we found and we explain that we saw, claw marks in the basement and holes in the basement, to the outside, and we found these claw marks.
This looks really similar to what I saw at the diner.
Interesting.
Smash cut back to Christina. Precious's surface thoughts have changed. She's terrified. The door is open. The door is open. The door is open.
Which door? The basement door?
Yes.
So I go to the basement.
You go back into the kitchen. You hear all of the cats have now moved to the front room, like across the house, and they're all like meowing.
So I have to go to the basement.
You go down into the basement.
I have to. 'Cause there's something down there that's scaring them.
Make a dexterity saving throw. Just kidding.
Wrong game.
You go to the basement.
Yeah.
You see piles of junk everywhere, covered in dust. Go ahead, investigate that mystery roll.
So I have to roll?
Yeah, sure. Check it out.
Your sight rolling.
Yeah. All right. 11. 4. Plus 2.
6.
So 6.
No, you're going to investigate, so you're using sharp.
I have 0, so 4.
You're down in the basement. You see something that looks like an animal tail.
Is it tabby?
It's very furry. It could be a cat tail, but the lighting is so dim, and it seems to be kind of like behind some other stuff on a shelf.
Give it the old pss, 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 pss.
I call for it. I call to see if it comes to me.
It doesn't move.
Is it dead? Do I go and check it and
Do you
I
like
poke
poke
it?
the stuff? You poke the tail, or
Yeah, I
or
poke the tail.
the pile of clothing and
Yeah,
blankets.
I poke the blanket to see if anything
You
moves.
poke the tail and it kind of moves. As you get closer, it doesn't look like a cat's tail. Looks like almost like a raccoon tail.
I'm scared about getting bit by a raccoon. Pull it.
Pull it.
I pull the tail.
When you pull the tail, a whole bunch of stuff that's on the shelf that was like kind of covering it falls towards you, and you pull the tail, and it's one of those raccoon caps that people wear on their head.
And then I go upstairs
And
because I'm upset.
it's very moldy and old. And it looks like it might have been worn by a kid in the 80s or 70s. You're not really sure.
And now I'm upset.
Okay.
My heart is pounding and I'm upset.
Thank you. I feel fulfilled.
All right, does anyone hear the ruckus of boxes falling downstairs?
No, 'cause everyone's
because you're
outside.
like out by the gate talking with her, and now at this point she's showing you the gardens, and she's like illustrating all the different flowers that she's planted here, and she shows you the catnip patch, and she tells you like the cats used to love coming out to the garden with her, and
Sure. Yeah.
and she says, I can't even get them to come out now. She's like, they won't come out. I could put a can of tuna at the bottom of the stairs and they wouldn't come. I don't know what's gotten into them. I think it's those cruel kids. I don't know what they did, but I never had these sorts of problems before Tabby disappeared.
Where are the cats right now?
Oh, they must be in the house, dear. They won't come outside. Would you like to go back in and have some tea? I
Yes,
have biscuits as
please.
well. So she starts making her way slowly up. You guys are all still in the garden. As you're poking around amongst the hostas, you notice something else. Closer to the back door. You know how sometimes people put like a lattice under the stairs? It looks like something chewed through the lattice to like get under the porch, under the back porch.
Living under there.
Do you have a flashlight? Do you want to go look?
Preparedness when I need something unusual or rare.
Let's say that you have a flashlight
Okay.
on you, like one of those little mag
Yeah.
lights. So
Your
you
cell
kinda
phone
like,
has
oh,
a
your cell phone.
flashlight.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
You turn on your light. You're kind of crawling under there. It looks gross. There's leaves and other crap that's blown under there. And you see something that looks shriveled up.
would go closer and look.
It looks like the desiccated corpse of a cat.
What color is it?
Well, I could pull a Vivi and just like bring it out.
Yeah. Bring it out to the old
It was
lady.
a small club, okay? It was a small club.
Boy, it's your cat.
Like, if she couldn't handle that, I don't know. I mean,
You don't, and as you're inspecting this, it doesn't look injured. Like you don't see like it's not like torn up. You know what I mean? Like or half eaten.
Right.
It looks like it literally you find it like kind of curled up.
Like drained or
Got it.
malnourished, maybe? Or just,
Maybe.
Is there any other indication of foul play, I guess, with it? Because I can see it clearly with my flashlight. You know, it's not like I can't see it, but I guess is there any other indication of it's just a desiccated?
It looks like it's been dead for a month. Like it's and there's flies. Like it.
Is that kitty number 1 then?
Could be kitty number 1.
Or
could
there's
be-
another cat that we didn't know
Can you
about that
pull it out?
Does
passed
not
away.
look like the orange of her tabby cat.
can you pull it out and share it with the peanut
I
gallery?
could discreetly.
You want to touch a dead cat?
Yeah.
You find a shovel.
As an
There's a
expert,
shovel.
you know
Yes.
you pull out
Yes.
your
Pull the
gloves,
out of
snap
my-
them on.
out of my utility clothes
Yeah.
and discreetly and subtly pull it closer to the where I go under the porch
Yes.
and motion Ryder over.
Ryder, you approach,
Oh dear God, man! Is that a cat? Jesus.
and it does not look like the same fur.
Okay.
Nope. It kind of looks like a grayish sort of tiger striped sort of blackish grayish sort of cat.
Okay. It's weird that she wouldn't have mentioned another cat that had previously died to us, right? She's
You-
telling us about everything.
You don't remember seeing a cat that looked like this
Yeah.
in her cat family picture either, to be
Okay.
clear.
Are we sure it's
And-
even a cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
you at this point you've got it close enough where the
I
sunlight.
know what a cat looks like.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
It could be a
I'm
really
an
small
expert.
dog.
Or a rat.
Yeah.
Expert in cats.
It runs in their family. They're experts on cats.
And I'm at least a little more subtle and discreet and considerate to like discreetly pull it and not just
Ripping off the Band-Aid.
ripping off the fur.
Hey, Gene, is this your cat?
Okay, so Ryder and I have established that this is not one of the pictured cats and one of the aforementioned 3 missing cats. So I think we need to have a regroup powwow, if possible.
Well, I'm going back inside with Janice. Sarah's. Are you still inside? Do you go up the stairs?
So Janice goes in, she puts a kettle on, like she's gonna make tea, and you see she goes into her cupboards and she pulls out this very nice platter and she gets some cookies. She starts laying out the cookies and she's got some of those biscotti and she puts those on. You know, she's very,
Do I run into Sarah coming out of the basement, or what's the time frame on that?
yes,
Okay. And because she looks kind of freaked,
yeah.
so I'm going to inquire. What's
Actually,
going
no.
on.
I'm gonna say she came out of the basement and closed the door, presumably before you guys came in.
Okay.
Okay, because otherwise, Mrs. O'Donovan might have been curious about that. So, so you were inside, and she says, she's like, you all can sit in the parlor. I'll bring the tea and the cookies.
Are the cats still freaking out?
No, because the back door is closed, and she goes over after putting the kettle on. She goes over to the back door and she's like, "Would you dears like to come in for some tea and cookies?"
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
Yes, come on in. And you notice again, she holds the door. You hear the cat still like, "Meow, meow, meow." They don't like the back door being open, but once you guys come in and she closes the back door, they calm down. You guys make your way into the parlor. She brings some tea, some cookies. She is just chock full of telling you stories about, her life and her family, and
Is she open about like her husband, or is she kind of secretive?
Yes. No, she tells you how
let me tell
proud
you.
she was. He was a real man. He could fix anything in this house, and she said, now I don't have anyone to help me keep the house up as much anymore, but my Henry he could do electrical work and plumbing, and he could roof. And
Did Henry work at the plant?
yes, dear, he was a foreman there for the last 10 years before he retired. But I only had him for 2 years, and he passed away only a couple of years after retiring. We did have that wonderful trip that we took to Indiana. It was really very nice.
And how long ago did he pass?
Several years ago, dear. Yes, he's been gone. My Henry is up in heaven now at the right hand of our Lord and Savior.
Did Henry have any cats?
Well, yes, he loved his kitties. Look, and she goes over to a picture, and she pulls out this picture that looks like it's from like the 70s of this dude with awesome sideburns. And like he's sitting in a lazy boy chair, and there's like 10 cats on it, and he's smiling, and he's got like a can of Ham's beer. And she's like, they loved their papa. Yes, of course. Yes. We never had dogs. My husband didn't grow up with any animals in his house, and he was very fond of the cats.
Were they overly attracted to him or clinging to him?
Well, no, they were good with the children and good with my husband, and
I don't know where you're getting with that one.
but even when my children come home for Christmas and I have the pleasure of the grandchildren, more pictures just passing around, she's like, the cats love my grandchildren, love them. Of course, at Christmas time there's much more, the house is much warmer and just more full of life,
Would Adam recognize the cat on the picture?
Yeah,
Did
like
they even
the old
match?
picture.
Excellent question. No. The cat that you found. But I'm sorry. Where is dead cat right now? Still under. So it's under. It's under.
You pushed it back?
Pushed under the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I brought it closer so that we could see it,
you could,
but not.
by the way, you could manually just pull the lattice up, back into position.
Okay.
No.
Restore the lattice to.
Yeah. So okay. So you're not like a
No.
dead cat. Okay.
No, I'm
so
not Vivi.
she goes on. You guys you're there out of politeness for an additional hour, eating cookies and biscuits and drinking tea. At what point do you feel like you are done with this, and what's your exit strategy to leave the old lady, or do you have more questions for her?
My character's
think
gotten
we have-
nothing out of this.
I think we have gotten as far as we can
Yeah.
with the old lady.
Vivi gets really tired and says she has to go lay down. It's time for her nap.
There you go.
So we need to make our exit to the
Prima donna,
to
this
the
one,
B&B.
Yes.
Well, she thanks you for coming to visit with her, and she thanks you for being willing to keep an eye open for her cats. She's, truly grateful, and she, she's going to say prayers for all of you tonight, and then she walks you to the front door. And when she opens the front door, the cats go to the back of the house.
So they
They
don't like
go
the
to the
front
kitchen.
door either?
So something
the
Don't like
outside.
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 You guys walk out, it's whatever, 2 in the afternoon. Your truck's gone. No, just messing with you. It's still there.
Are you gonna sneak back and bag up that cat and take it with us?
Or you're just keeping it there?
Well, it's evidence. We don't know.
I'm gonna retcon that you took a picture of it with your phone.
Yeah.
There you go.
Where do you want him to put a
At
dead
the time
cat?
at the time of inspection, there was not any discernible markings or features.
Fair.
It was just a desiccated.
Yes.
Yes.
No wounds,
Yes.
no injuries.
Desiccated approximately 1 month.
Correct.
I was trying to convey this to you, but we were being lectured at for an hour and a half and being shown pictures.
So, when we step, can we walk the perimeter of the house?
Yeah,
Just,
absolutely.
Just do a, kind of see if anyone gets any vibes. or anything?
Can we point out to the rest of the group that
Yeah.
our findings and the
Debrief.
hostas?
Debrief, yep.
So this is the same deal that I saw at the diner.
When you go around that side, from the outside, from the front, you notice another interesting thing. The slats that cover the front porch. There's one little corner, and this one looks like it also was clawed and chewed at.
It's still intact.
Something's trying to get
It's still
in.
intact.
Something's been trying to
It
get
looks like the spot that you found by the hostas.
in. Right.
Not like the lattice, which looks like something broke into it or,
Right.
forced its way in. This looks chewed up.
Do we forego a pleasant bed and breakfast for maybe keep an eye on this house for a
A
bit?
stakeout.
Yeah.
For the night?
I mean,
Well, I'm curious if this is happening at the bed and breakfast too. She's
she has
also a cat
cats.
lady.
So what if
she has
the
some-
dead
but it-
cat
but
was
it's
her
keeping-
cat,
It's true.
That
That's
as
true.
well.
and that there's something luring
Cats.
cats to the
I guess
basement-ish
we don't have
area?
any info on the bed and breakfast yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go check it out.
The day is young. It's
What time?
2
It's
o'clock.
Only 2.
2 o'clock.
So we could spend a few hours over the bed and breakfast,
Yeah.
get some intel.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty close by.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least book our room.
So let's head over to
Up
bed
the
and
BM.
breakfast.
Pilot back in the big BM.
You guys drive the truck 4 blocks away, and indeed you see a magnificent old Victorian house that you saw before with a cute little sign, and it's a little bit rough. Looks like it hasn't been kept up that well, but it seems very welcoming. You park the truck, walk up to the front door.
It's a quick game plan before we go in.
Yeah, go ahead. Game plan.
Like maybe just 1 or 2 of us do the booking, questioning, and maybe a couple of us do a look around.
Yeah.
You know, just be like, oh, what a nice place.
And
You
so
know,
in the
it's
4
beautiful.
block, in the long 4 block drive over, we have fully debriefed. So we're all kind of aware of what we've all seen, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
idled our way over. Kind of.
Okay. And so who's going in to do the booking?
I'll go because I'm not really inept at any spooky supernatural. So
You're good talking to the old lady.
I spent the whole day getting the spiel of her life
Yeah.
story. So
With Candace.
I'll get us a room set up, for the night.
With Vicky.
If the more
I'm going what?
incited want to
No,
check out the
Vicky.
area.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going up, or all of you are going up?
Anyone want to join me?
I will join you
Okay.
as backup.
Okay,
Thanks.
you guys are walking up. You go up the front stairs. You see 6 newspapers stacked up outside the front door, and the mailbox is so full that there's envelopes sticking out of it.
Oh,
Okay.
is there a bell? Knocker?
Yeah,
anything?
there's a bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Yep.
Ding dong.
Peek the curtains.
Knock, knock, knock. Ding dong. No response.
It's a Victorian with a wraparound porch, we were told, right?
Yes.
So,
You are at the correct house.
okay, so we can take a look around, see if there's any signs
Yeah,
of
peep through the
life.
windows.
Can we discern any lights on inside or?
Is there any
Like,
Are
Yeah.
there cars?
Nope. You
Does-
look through the windows. There don't look to be any lights on in the front rooms.
I don't think anyone
So I
is
think
staying
we'll
here.
go
right
back
now.
down and say, hey, either no one's home or something's going
stay
on.
at the
Do they even do wellness checks to these places? No, he said, in game, I wonder if the cops,
You can call the cops.
No, not yet. just think in my mind. But I
Just
said
investigate
maybe
the
poke
kids.
around a little bit.
We check the front door, see if it's even open.
Yeah.
Sure.
Try
Walk
that.
right in.
Or
Yeah.
back
Any of the
door.
windows open or
Or back
doors?
door.
There's a welcome mat with the calligraphy
Lift the-
welcome.
can we look under the
And the
mat?
front door's locked, but
Check under the mat.
there's a key under the mat.
Open the door.
Yeah, whatever.
Try the lock.
I'll try the key on the door.
It works.
Okay.
I'll open the door, peek my head in, and ask, say, hello, anyone home? What's her name?
So you open the front door.
Is he Victoria? Ask Victoria,
Yeah.
are you home?
You open the front door, and like I said, you could see, when you kind of tried to peek through the windows, there was those sheer curtains, but you could tell they were front rooms kind of. but no lights on. So you open the front door, there's no lights on in the hallway. And what you see is a large stairwell that goes up to the second floor. But at the bottom of the stairwell, you see a woman laying on the ground. And it looks like maybe she's been laying there for quite some time because there's a massive pool of blood. And she looks very dead.
Could I do an investigate on the blood? Would I be able to tell how?
Absolutely. You could see a massive gash on her head from where she must have fallen.
And is it all dried or?
Yeah.
Okay, so she did that.
It smells like
about
dead
6
person.
newspapers.
You guys,
So we're thinking a week. then.
you guys, the minute you open the door, it smells like dead person.
Game plan. Do we call the cops? Have them stomp it over the place, or we do a little look around?
You gotta look around first.
Yeah, just look around.
Because this looks
she's a
purely
crazy-
accidental.
Have the
She's a
cat-
crazy cat lady.
Have the cats gotten to her?
Are there any cats at all?
Right.
Okay, we're
She's crazy.
going in the house.
Yeah, let's look around.
We alert, John and I alert the outside parties.
And
Tell them to
if
come.
everyone's coming in, I'm going to make sure the door's closed behind us.
Okay.
I got a bad feeling.
Yeah, you do.
Good job. There's a dead person.
I got the feeling I got a pretty easy meal coming for me. So
You,
Not yet. We gotta
You
check
see
this out.
a dead
laid out for you.
And I should describe that she is in one of those old school like nightgowns, like
Mumu or
yeah,
Miu Miu?
like neck to like it looks like this might have happened at nighttime
Maybe she
because
heard
she's in
something.
and her hair's up in curlers like with one of those
Yeah.
the things that they the net things that
the
they put
netting.
over the curlers like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it that's what it looks like to you.
Real quick backtrack though. So this lady did have cats too, right?
Yes.
Does it look like any cats were eating her?
No.
Okay. So there's
there any
something
signs of
wrong
cats?
with the cat's existence.
You don't see cat paws in the blood pool.
Right.
No.
Nope.
Do we see cats right now?
No.
Because when cats
Would you
get
like to
hungry,
look around the
they eat
house?
their
What if
corpse.
I would
the
like
cats
to
were
look around.
taken?
Let's look around. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay. The front rooms look nice. I mean, I think it would have been nice to stay here.
Can I go upstairs? Because if it seems like she's,
You want to
Fell.
walk around the body and go
I
upstairs?
do.
Over it, step over.
I do.
Sure. Are we splitting the party? I just need to know.
Split the party.
Sarah, do you want to come with me?
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So buddy system, you guys are going to go up the stairs. They're creaky but nice, like carpeted, runner. You're walking up the stairs. What are you guys doing on the main level?
I'll look around the main level.
Okay, looking through the front room.
Yep. You gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out down there. I feel like I gotta. He's
Shots.
jonesing right now, man, and it's like there's a free meal right there with no work. So
And I will see, is there a basement when I walk around the first floor? See if there's a basement door?
Yes. There's the hallway goes down to a dining room, which also looks very nice, like china cabinets. All of it's like very old, like antiques, and really fits the Victorian experience. And then there's like one of those swinging doors that goes back into the kitchen.
Oh, we didn't get the breakfast.
Priorities.
They were talking about how great the breakfast was.
So you're staring at the dead corpse, contemplating a meal. You're in the front room checking
Can I
things
also
out.
retcon where I'm also keeping an eye on Ryder?
Sure. I mean, it's open. There's no door. It's one of those big open
it's a
doors.
free open concept.
All right, smash cut back up to you, ladies. You're at the top, and the landing turns, and then there's a long hallway with like many doors. It looks like there are 6 bedrooms. The doors are open, by the way. They're not closed. So, like, you look in progressively. Like each bedroom looks like, like a guest bedroom. And it's very nicely decorated with a lot of knickknacks and, antiques. There's only one door at the very end of the hallway that isn't a guest bedroom. It looks like maybe this was Miss Vicky's bedroom because you see that the bedroom is not as well decorated as the guest bedrooms. It's just a very simple bedroom. She's got like a dresser in there and a bed with a nightstand, and the nightstand light is on. And the bed, the blankets are like flipped up as if someone was in bed and then flipped the blankets up. The bed is not made.
Sure to bump in the night.
Smash cut back to you. You are walking into the
I'm going down the stairs.
kitchen.
Yep.
You see the kitchen has nice space, right? And you see 2 water bowls on the floor and 2 food bowls. And the food bowls have old, gross, crusty, wet cat food that is rotten, and there's flies. You don't see any cats yet. And then there's a door to the basement.
Okay.
The door's open.
What's that?
The door to the basement's open.
Okay.
I'll back you up, buddy. Let me know.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely not want to go alone. So, Ryder's jonesing at the base of the stairs, you know, for a free meal. So I would go over to see if John wants to go down investigate the basement with me.
I'll put a passing comment to Ryder bit. You good?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Was that a very convincing?
So just to be clear, Vivi and Sarah are upstairs. John and Morty are going to the basement. And Ryder's alone with a corpse. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I got that.
Yes.
All right, so Morty and John, you guys are gonna head down to the basement.
Yep.
It is also a unfinished old school basement. You're gonna go ahead and need to investigate a mystery here.
Okay. Take a look around and see if there's anything around. Roll or to
Yes.
investigate?
I'll let him take the lead. Can I support him at all?
You can. If you make a successful roll, I'll give him a bump.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't, then it doesn't really matter.
I got 10 in total.
Hey, that's good.
I got 9 and it's what, plus sharp, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So plus 2, so 11.
Make that 12. You guys are downstairs. It's kind of dimly lit. You're looking around, and you're like, what's that over there in that corner? And you go to look over in the corner, and you see like one of those old like coal chutes, you know, like where
Yeah.
they used to, and it's the door is open, like, and there's like coal dust, you know, from ages ago. And then you see, you're like aiming your light, and you see prints. They look like not cat paw prints though. They look somehow different.
Are they the same size?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Who wants to stick their head in a shouldn't take a peek up the chute?
That's you.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, without putting your head in there, you could tell you kind of use
It
your
just goes
phone.
to the outside.
With the, yeah, with
It goes to the outside,
yeah.
and that is open.
Okay.
So were the
So
prints only
something-
going one way?
It looks like the prints maybe came through here, and you're not sure. Doesn't look like they went back up.
Okay.
But there are not just one set of prints.
Okay.
You're fairly certain
No, we are
that
not.
this is multiple
Okay.
prints of something that came through this coal chute from the outside to get into this house.
Okay. And we don't see any evidence of it then leaving out that way.
Correct.
Okay. So I would vote for John and I to leave the basement upon finding this and being left alone in the basement. So I would want to get out of the basement.
Ryder,
Yeah.
do you need to make some kind of roll when you're
Yeah.
hungry? I think it's time for that. I mean, I feel like
Here go all the good dice down the drain.
this is not, okay, I'm going to say this is not fresh meat or fresh brains.
Right.
But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, as Adam astutely
Yeah, as we found out right from the show.
He is. It's been an interesting day, so go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. That's a 4.
Yeah. Anything?
Yeah, for the act under pressure, what was the... Do we know what the
That'd be a
add-on to
cool.
that was? Cool? Well, then that's a 3. So...
I'm so excited for this. Let me describe to you the horror scene that you all return to.
Jeez.
Oh no.
Hey, we're not calling the cops.
Sarah and Vivi, you really didn't find any clues, so to speak. Like, the upstairs seems undisturbed other than what appears to be Miss Vicky's, bedroom, and it looks like she must have gotten up at night to go find out what was going on, kind of thing. You, however, are coming down, and you go down the hallway, and you're turning on the landing to go down the stairs. At that same moment, John and Morty are coming back down the hallway to the front of the house. And collectively, all four of you, from your different vantage points, you guys see, you're pretty sure that what you see is Ryder's legs. Like, it looks like he's on all fours. Like, and in your brain, you're like, maybe he's doing some forensic investigation. And you see him kind of like leaning forward. You guys from the top of the stairs straight up see him like biting into the back of the dead woman's skull and like pulling bone, and you see him scooping in and like eating like tapioca pudding out of the back of her skull.
Any choice words?
We had to do this now.
I mean, it's free food. Come on, man.
I'm gonna have all four of you make cool rolls. That's a roll where you roll 2 dice and you add your cool or subtract it, and tell me what the result is.
So we roll.
Roll 2 dice and add or subtract your cool.
I got 11.
Okay.
I got 7 plus a 0, so yeah, 7.
Okay.
I got a 13.
Yeah.
11,
Wow.
13.
We're rolling
Okay.
great.
None of you puke.
Oh,
but
good.
you are very much
Ryder.
Disgusting.
You are disturbed by this. You know the truth about your friend's condition, but witnessing it in this context
I'm gonna have
is
to make a
rather
report.
disturbing. So that's what you see.
Well, I guess we don't have to call the police now.
Dude, come on.
It's
not my fault.
What are you going to do about this?
Okay.
We
Well,
gotta get rid of the body.
Do you need a napkin?
we would
We got it?
disseminate the information to the rest of the group that we found prints in the basement, and we saw where we believe something had entered through the coal chute and not leave through the coal chute.
Show pictures.
These
snap a couple
prints,
pictures
were they
on
like
the phone.
animal type prints, or like, so was it like
There were multiple.
Well, can we discern if it was different sets or
Yes.
just a lot of the same?
This was multiple
Sets.
So
Okay.
multiple sets going in and out.
Of cat-like prints, but not cat prints.
Would someone like to read a bad situation? That's a thing that you could do in Monster of the Week.
Can I use
that
my
forgot about.
tactical genius for this?
Yes, you
I can-
should.
All right.
Alright.
We'll read Tactical Genius.
So when I want to read a bad situation, I may roll for plus cool instead of plus sharp. So that'll give me a +2 instead of 1.
Okay.
And that is a natural 12, so a 14 in total.
You are fairly certain of several things. Number 1, those prints were not cat paw prints.
Okay.
Those were rat claw prints. Number 2,
Big rats.
you have never seen rat claw prints that big. You are also fairly certain of that. And number 3, you guys have not found how the rats got out of the house yet.
Correct. We saw them
Gotta
before
go
they
back
come
down
in.
there and look around, I guess.
There's no evidence.
You
If everything
searched
is
the 2 front rooms.
'Cause if everything's
you saw the
undisturbed.
kitchen. You
Yeah.
saw the basement. You guys searched the entire upstairs.
cat food has been uneaten.
No back
And
door.
there has not been a sight
There's
of
a back
cat?
door.
Can we check that out?
Yes,
Then?
it's locked and
no
intact. However,
So-
you did not check the dining room where breakfast is served.
Oh.
And as you
Where's
walk
that at?
past the dining room, you look in, seeing like the nice china cabinet and stuff, and you notice that not only is the window open, but the screen is ripped out. And as you get closer, you see dirty little rat prints.
Take a peek out the window.
Yep. You see, the rain would have washed that away. You don't see any prints outside.
How high up is this window?
Like
up?
6 feet up.
Okay. And then out to like the street or
To a little
yard.
sidewalk along the side of the house.
So it's all open.
Yeah.
We got a rat problem. A big rat problem. Shoot. So
Do you think she saw one of these rats and that's why
She
Probably
fell?
heard.
she fell?
She really heard them? Do you think she heard them from
Do
the
we know
basement?
she fell?
Well, she
or
got
was
up in the. Well, she got up in the middle of the night. She got up in the middle of the night.
That's true.
what's interesting though, the rats didn't touch her, but the cats are all gone.
Yeah.
So
because no one saw a cat,
were the
right?
rats getting out of the house when she tripped, or she see them and fall?
Are the
Well, the
rats
rats came
stealing
in.
the cats?
The rats came in through the coal chute. The basement door was open
So they probably made a ruckus getting out.
because we assume that they're not
Dining
still in the
room.
basement because we left the basement. We
Right.
can go back and investigate it, but I don't. But we saw that there was an
I
open
think they're
window.
out hitting the wildlife at this point.
Yeah.
So they're probably done with this house for the last
Hitting up
week.
the rat boxes outside of the diner.
Does anybody else think it's weird that we're in a bed and breakfast and Sarah and I didn't see anything upstairs that looked like anyone was staying here? Like, what are the chances of no one staying here?
Honestly, have you seen this place?
Yeah, but
it's a
this
it's a
between the
small town.
motel, I mean, like,
Oh, but it's a dying town.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
no
dying
one's coming
small
to
town.
stay.
but I mean,
I think that's safe
don't
to
know,
say.
like,
I don't think that's suspicious.
You want to stay in a bed and breakfast in Lad? I mean,
the lady's been dead for a week. No one can get in.
yeah.
Yeah.
She
But,
might have had
he's
customers
just
2
arguing
weeks
that
ago.
there just happened to be no one there
Right.
that night.
I don't think.
Like that's what she's arguing, is that there wasn't anyone else there, it was just her. But that,
the situation, I'd say it's not surprising.
yeah, that's what I said.
is the breakfast food that she left out, is any of it
Is there,
still
any,
good?
is there any food in the? It's a week
Oh yeah, the food's like the food in the pantry's fine. The kitchen, like the fridge is. The milk
The
might
cat-
be out of date,
yeah,
but
cat
like
food's
everything else
uneaten.
seems okay.
The cat food's uneaten.
Sarah, I have to, priorities here.
Yeah, it's food and sleep.
You know what? Since you guys were pretty thorough and had some very successful rolls, I should also point out that, like Mrs. O'Donovan, she had pictures of like her cats, and there were 6 of them.
Only 2 bowls. What a
Like,
freak.
no, she doesn't have the amazing Mrs. O'Donovan picture where they're all in it, but you see like multiple pictures of cats like around.
Were any of
Do I
those
see,
pictures the dead
any-
cat?
That representative.
Yes.
Okay.
So we got to go
her
back
cats.
to
But see
Janice's
that
house.
But see that
If-
cat left. I mean, that cat was like dead for like it looked to be a couple weeks.
Right.
So before Vicky had died.
You think these rats could have been out and about before they went down her chimney chute and got through the basement?
Well, I'm saying that the cat at Janice's house
Right.
that was dead under the porch died a couple weeks ago
Right. We just can't question
before this happened.
Brain be gone woman because she died, so we don't know. Maybe her cat was missing before.
As you guys have
No.
discussed all this,
Yeah.
Ryder, you have finished eating the brains.
Rat.
Now, the good thing about eating from a dead person is that you haven't created a whole lot more of a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much coagulated.
Yeah.
But there is still now a dead woman and a pool of blood that's dried and soaked into the hardwood floors, and the back of her skull is missing.
Can I make a little work note that we'll blame this on the rats on a later date?
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
or we get rid of the body because we do look suspicious that we're new in town and now there's a dead lady with their
And
head.
we're
kicked
asking
in.
But
about
it is
the bed
obvious
rat.
that she was dead for a week before we got here. I mean, I feel like any investigator
Is there a way that
together, minus the new head hole.
like her spirit could still be there, and I can
Ooh.
see if
A little
she
bit of a
is there?
sight.
Yes.
Give it a try.
Well, now I'm gonna feel real bad if you talk to this lady's ghost and I just ate her
You
head.
didn't think about that when you were eating.
I'm going to say this. You spent several minutes. There is no sense of the spirit
Okay.
in this area.
Does Ryder pick up on anything from like eating
the
her?
brain?
From her memories.
Well, from like eating her, like
Yeah, like do you get any part of like, because I mean that's what happens in
of the
Eyes
yeah, it was
Yeah.
part of full eye
I'm
zombie.
going to say this. Liam, go ahead and roll a d6 and just tell me what you get. Just one
one?
die.
Just one.
That's a 6.
Now you roll 1 die.
Just give it one hour. 2.
Uh-oh. You have pretty keen senses. You hear a car pull up outside.
Take a peek out the window.
It looks like a squad car.
Timing.
That makes sense.
Okay, but the body's clearly been dead a week.
You better clean yourself up.
We kind of broken, when I'm technically broken the house, closed the door behind us, snooped around.
Ryder, tell me in 30 seconds or less how you are cleaning yourself up as this sound is heard.
I like try to run, find a bathroom like as soon as possible,
Sure.
and just
There's a
like
first floor
wash
power
my
room.
face and
Okay, yeah.
hands and everything, make
Okay.
sure it's all clean.
I'm gonna tell everyone we got company.
Yeah.
Okay. You see that
Our big
not the chief that you saw at the gas station, but the younger police officer that you guys saw at the diner. You see he gets out of his squad car and he's like looking at your truck. He's like kind of walking around it. You notice he's looking at the plates. He's looking at the plates and he's kind of just looking at it and walks around to it. You clean yourself
Yeah.
off. You clean the sink out too,
Okay, that's smart.
and you dry your hands on yourself.
Yeah.
And
On my raggedy clothes,
Yep.
anyway, so
If
no
we
one would
can
know.
sneak out the back and wrap around the house, meet up with the cops saying, house is locked, we can't get in, no response.
Okay.
That's not bad.
is that what you guys are doing?
I give that
I think
option.
that's our only option.
All right, you Scooby-Doo the fuck out the back door. You unlock the back door. You go out. You lock it. Close it. Sneak out. You go around. You come out by where the garage and the driveway is. And as you come out, you see, like the officers kind of like coming back around between your truck and his squad car, and he sees you and he looks over there and he goes, "Hey, you all own this truck?"
I give him a wave and like, yes, that's my truck. We were looking to book rooms at the bed and breakfast, but
Oh, yeah.
no one seems home, and we see a lot of mail piled up, and we were seeing if anyone was around the area.
Oh, huh. Well, did you knock on the front door? Did Miss Vicky answer?
We did. No one
Nothing's
responded. It was locked.
So we walked around the back to see if anyone
You
answered
notice-
the back door.
Oh, huh. At this point in time, I feel like it would be appropriate for you to manipulate someone.
Not the most charming fellow.
Oh, that's a 2. Back me up.
I believe there's a mechanic in this game called luck.
That's right.
And I'm fairly certain that
I am going to.
when you blow a major roll like that, you could use luck.
I will check off my first luck to change that to a 12.
Yay!
Thank you for reminding me.
Good idea.
He says he seems like totally buying into what you're saying. He's like, "Oh, that is odd, Mrs.
Right? That's what happened.
I mean, unless she went to the store, but why would there be all those newspapers?" He says, "Well, you folks wait here. Let me go see." And he goes up the stairs and he's looking at the mail and the newspapers and he rings the doorbell, knocks on the door. He says, Miss Vicky, you there? Miss Vicky, it's Officer Johnny. Ma'am, are you here? And then he walks over to the front windows and he basically does the same thing that you guys did. And he knocks, rings the doorbell again. And then you see he pulls out his phone and he makes a phone call and he says, yeah, I'm over here at Miss Vicky's house and these folks were trying to get a room and they say that she's not here and yeah, Chief, I don't know, her mail's stacked up. It looks like the newspapers are out here. No one's answering. Okay, yeah, I will. Yes, sir. And he closes the phone. He says, would you folks just mind waiting over here? Chief is on his way.
You'll be in.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes later, the chief pulls up, gets out of his car, kind of comes over, and he says, how are you folks doing?
Hey, Bob. It's Bob, right?
Yeah. And he says, all right, I saw your truck earlier at the gas station.
We met when you were coming out.
Oh,
We were
yeah,
getting
so-
gas.
But she's not home apparently, huh?
We were looking to stay the night, but
He says,
no one's
Johnny, did you
answering.
try calling? He says, yes, sir. I called the house phone, no answer. Well, you know what? We need to open up that door. Johnny, go get your crowbar. And they walk up. They pry the door open. The door swings open, and you hear Johnny go, "Oh, dear God! Oh!" And he comes out of the house. I get to roll now, and barfs all over the front stairs. And Chief Bob is like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, good Lord."
Sweet summer child.
And he pulls out the phone. He says, "What the hell is this?" And he calls, and he says, "Yeah, hey Doc, listen, we're over here at Miss Vicky's house. This is horrible. She's passed away here. Something bad has happened. We're gonna have to check this out here. Yeah, you're gonna need to bring a wagon over here. Yeah, she's passed. Okay." And he says, "Johnny, go out to my car. We're gonna need the kit." And he comes down the stairs towards you guys, and he says, "Folks, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but it looks like Miss Vicky's passed away, and we're."
Oh, what?
That's horrible.
I wish I had better news.
I don't want to stay at the motel.
For you. I would. You may, if you were intent on spending the night, you may want to go to perhaps Peru or LaSalle or Ottawa, somewhere. Unfortunately,
Guess we're just gonna have to camp
I would
out
not
on
recommend
Janice's
the
place.
motel. Motel's basically condemned.
Oh, really? No.
The owner's just been negligent, and he's got a lien on the motel. He's more or less abandoned it. Unless you were fixing to stay in your RV, but he says we're going to be here for a while, so I just need to get a statement if you don't mind.
Sure.
Johnny, will you please get their statement? And Chief nods, and he says, "Sorry, folks," and he goes back up to the house. Johnny hands him this briefcase, and he goes in. Johnny comes back to you guys about 45 minutes of your life later. He takes your statements and writes everything down literally in a notepad, and then tells the chief. The chief says that gets your contact information, free to go. And you guys hop in your big old RV. Now where are you going?
You were pretty jiggy with Janice. Can we go stay with her?
It seems like all arrows are pointing back to Janice's house, or is surrounding her house. Cat's freaking out, the claw marks.
Do like a stakeout.
Well, we were talking about doing a stakeout
Right, 'cause we
anyway,
could
so
start-
what if we
But we
just...
also need to figure out about these kids.
Just as a timeline, it's like, supper
So
time.
it's dinner
like
time. Maybe
5:30,
Maybe
which
it's
is
cantina time.
supper
Mexican
time.
food!
Margaritas.
Yes!
Yeah, we'll worry about the meat and rats later. Dinner.
So are you guys going to the cantina, or are you trying to find a hotel? There are hotels within 20 minutes of town that you can drive to if you need to.
I'm inclined to keep an eye on Janice's place.
Well, that's for later. I'd say it's for later. 'Cause if it's like supper time, we'll
time frame though. Like when?
Well, she has said everything she said was like happening at night,
Okay.
and then like
Well, I guess-
presumably the attack at the bed and breakfast was at night as well.
What do you think? I mean, what do we eat?
Well,
And
let's
just-
do it to go. We'll eat the tacos in the truck.
I mean, I'm full.
That might be the quote of the night. Damn it, Ryder. Well played.
Well, then,
Well played.
I mean, you can send Ryder to go just do the stakeout, and we can go eat.
Yeah.
Well,
we only have one vehicle. Yeah.
You can stand. You can stand there.
Don't worry. Just as kids, I can hang out with the neighborhood kids.
no, you can just stand and stare at the house.
Yeah.
It's already a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
So if you wanted to drive the... I'm full. If you wanted to drive the truck to the cantina and then walk back,
Yeah,
to
it's all
like a
close, right?
6-block walk.
Also,
Yeah.
because we don't want to park the truck in front of
right.
the
We've already got
It's
busted.
obvious.
Yeah, they already know we're there.
So that's
Yeah.
Let's go to the canteen, eat, get food, whatever. Leave
Pour
it
one
in
out
that
for
area, and then
Vicky.
Numero Uno's Cantina is just
Nice.
just zesty. You guys pull up. There are several cars in the parking lot. You find a nice double spot to pull through. You guys go in. There's music playing, and you see tables full of families and stuff. And you're greeted by a very nice woman who says, "Hello and welcome to Numero Uno's Cantina. Table for five?
See.
Excellent. Come this way, please." She seats you and she says, "I am Anna. I will be your server. Here are the menus." She's like, "Can I get you started with any drinks?"
See.
She's like, "Would you like our signature margarita?"
Sounds
We all need
Oh,
to drink.
excellent. I'll be right back. I can't serve you. I'm too young, but I will get my father. He will come. And then you see that she goes over to the bar, and you see an older man who's kind of working the bar, and there are a few people seated at the bar, and he nods to her when she tells the order. You guys have a fantastic meal. You have drinks. You have a fantastic meal. At some point, maybe someone has to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's feasible.
Marie.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Meta.
Let's say you've had like water, you've had like several margaritas at this point, you've had food. You go to the bathroom, and by the bathrooms is one of those cool cork boards where everybody puts their business cards, and you see a flyer that looks relatively recent.
Recent?
Yeah, like
missing lady.
maybe within the last couple days.
Dang.
You see a flyer.
Do I share this with you?
Sure.
You want to pluck it off? Since Wednesday. We're counting like real time, right? Like it's
Yeah, it's Friday.
Okay.
Today's Friday.
Do we know what
else?
the park was by Janice's house?
I'm sure it was that park. I don't think there's any
I don't think
parks.
Matt
Small-
has multiple parts.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's a robust
I'm
town.
hoping that somebody who knows the River Valley
we
is going to be
have
like,
three?
"Fuck you guys, this is an awesome town.
Beautiful parks.
It has 7 parks, you dicks." Like,
So, and we know
There's only
the
meth in
park's
6 of them.
a few blocks away from Janice's. Carol, we haven't heard. We don't know Carol Fisher yet, right? We haven't heard that name.
no,
Nope.
no.
We don't know Sarah Fisher either.
Look that up for a reminder.
What did you say the condition of this poster?
So
news.
hold on.
Brand new.
The
It's like 2
mayor
days.
earlier today was harassing the cop about the cats.
Not a child that's gone for just a missing child.
It is, if this game had the inspiration mechanic, Adam, I would give it to you.
Maybe they didn't want. Maybe it wasn't mentioned yet.
Adam, that's an experience.
Maybe it wasn't mentioned that the one other food establishment of 2 in the town had a flyer, a black and white. Like the parents couldn't even print it in color.
You know, Janice probably covered the missing child with her damn cat posters.
Yes.
As I'm coming back, well, in the midst of bringing this flyer back to the table and showing everyone, do we see like the mayor
No.
at this restaurant at all? No.
Oh yeah, so is it pretty
Do we
busy in
see
here
anyone?
Yeah, I mean, you see, like I said, you see a few guys sitting at the bar, talking with the bartender, having drinks. You see about like 10 tables with mixes of people. You know, some of them are like a couple, and then, you know, there's a few where it's just couples having dinner, and then there's some where there's families with kids.
too? Do we want to ask about a missing child? Because that's pretty weird
think-
for strangers to come in and start
Yeah.
poking around
I
missing
think
child
one of us
reports.
needs to go to the bar and chat up the locals.
My charm's out. I'm not doing it.
Sarah?
Me?
You've got a +1 charm.
Oh, I guess I do.
I have a -1 charm.
You're not
Oh,
charmed.
I
We're not
have a
charmed.
+1 charm.
You're the chosen.
Yeah, you're the only charming
Also, you
person.
did see the poster, so it would make sense for
You
you
did go to the
inquire.
bathroom.
Okay,
Go get another margarita.
another margarita. Or try to get someone to buy me a margarita.
Go.
Slow down there,
Well,
kiddo.
I'm a young adult.
Did you say you're in your 20s, right?
As a young adult.
Okay.
I'm an adult.
Dad, you hear like the young waitress that took your order. You see she's at the front, and she's holding the phone up, and she's like pressing the thing, and she's like, "Dad, the phone's out again." She puts the phone down, and he's like, "Oh," and You see he like rolls his eyes and he kind of does the like hold on a second to the guys at the bar, and you see he goes into the back towards the kitchen area.
And we all hear that, right?
Yeah.
And it's starting to get dark.
I am gonna assume kind of put me like rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone's out. Maybe something on the outside.
I'm gonna motion to Morty,
Yeah.
see if he
We
wants to
duck
take a
out.
look out back with me.
We'll duck out.
Yeah, do a little walk
Are
around.
you going to the bar to chat up the locals?
I guess so.
I
See
have
if I
no
can get
idea what I'm
information.
doing.
We were sitting, getting hammered,
Yep.
and you don't even need to eat.
No, I'm
company.
again. Like I said,
Maybe you
I'm
go
good.
with them. Go with them outside.
Yeah, I
I mean, do
am,
you even
yeah.
drink? Like, does your character
I mean,
go even?
Yeah,
he
can you have
does. So
water,
I'll
or-
drink like water
Okay.
to like make it seem like
Right.
I'm not weird,
Okay.
but it does nothing for me.
Good. Well, okay, so the three of us leave. We walk
I'm
around.
sitting there.
You two are staying at the table?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys go outside the front, and you like walk around by the parking lot.
See wherever the lines might connect.
Sure. What? Feel free to make another sort of investigate roll.
Just a
You want me to do it?
mystery?
Yeah.
Throw some sharps in that.
I can support, or do you want me
Or
to
do you want? Yeah, you do it. You're more investigative
I
anyway.
got 2
so.
plus 2, sure. Okay, 6 plus 2, so 8.
Okay. Well, as you're walking, you go out the front door, you notice one of those black like mousetrap boxes again.
Get a light over it,
Yeah,
Yeah. Look
it's
at
all
it
chewed
closer. All chewed up. Okay.
and like anything else, like disturbed.
Yeah, you see like kind of looks like little legs and a little tail and half of a little mouse head.
Okay.
In the box.
Like sort of like
Extra.
it might have been in the box and then it was dragged out of the box and eaten, torn apart, and then
Rats are
left there.
eaten.
Any trail?
Nah, not really.
Okay. So whatever it is.
And so in this area is it like out to the parking lot?
Yeah,
Or-
so you
okay,
walk
it's
around,
open.
you kind of go around to the back of the building, presumably you see a dumpster, and you, when you get around the corner, you see like the lid of the dumpster is open and there's, some garbage bags in there, but you hear some like movement, like garbage bag movement.
Take a peek.
Yep.
Okay, cool. As you go to peek in, the biggest fucking rat that you've ever seen in your life
shit!
jumps out and attacks you.
Okay.
It just,
Will that be a bit of pressure I'm under? Or is it?
well,
Or maybe it's-
tell me what you want to do. Are you trying to like
Well,
duck out of the way from this? Or are
yeah,
you
so
So we
trying
got
to
the
fight
three of
back?
us. 'Cause
Yeah.
What are your
Well-
abilities again?
I can take one less harm and I can heal myself. That's
'Cause I'm guessing these guys are probably
Liam
flanking
steps-
my
They're
back.
right next to you, yeah. But this
Steps
thing
in.
jumps out. The
Punches
second
it.
you get close enough to like look at the dumpster, it jumps out.
I'm gonna try and duck out of the way. Like,
I feel like that's going to be an act under pressure. Go ahead.
okay, so that's cool. That is a 12.
You're like, oh, and you jump, and the thing jumps over you, lands on the ground, and turns and like snarls at all of you. It's like,
I'm gonna say, get that damn thing.
and it runs, it takes off towards the back of the parking lot, and there's like a crappy chain link fence, and then just kind of like an open field.
Any
And
chance of chasing it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna
Hell
see if
yeah.
I can go after it.
So do we always have like our weapons on us at all times?
I'm gonna keep my.
Do your weapons have the concealed property? Or some property like that? Because you wouldn't likely be able to have a submachine gun.
I
but
was
you
gonna
would have
say
your pistols.
have the pistol and
Yeah,
knife.
absolutely.
Just keep that under.
Adam's like, how about a double-barreled shotgun?
I've
Could I
Keep
walk
that in my
around with
sock.
that in my utility? Could that fit in a cargo pants pocket?
if it's sawed off.
I've got a juju bag, which
Yeah.
has 1 harm far magic.
Yes.
Can I like slow
see
the
if you
thing
pop
down,
it.
or like
Nail it.
because if it's running off and we're trying to like stop it,
I'm gonna yell like, get the thing.
yeah.
You know.
I've got my juju bag.
Okay. Before it runs off, when he's like, get that thing. If that's your instinct,
Yeah.
then roll some kick some ass. But I guess since it's a juju bag, do you use weird instead?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Think it.
Does it tell you?
No. It just says.
I'll let you choose.
It just says 1 harm, far magic. Because I'm just looking to cripple the thing,
Right.
so we can like
do you want
stop
to do
it.
kick-ass with tough, or do you want to do something with weird?
I guess I'd do use magic with weird.
Okay. So
Okay.
you have faith that this juju
Yes.
bag is going to do something amazing, and you throw it at the rat.
And I've got a natural 12 plus 2 for 14.
It hits the rat and bounces off the rat, and the rat continues to run. You feel like your juju bag still has magic, but maybe this thing doesn't
Okay.
react to what you just did to it.
Can I chase after it and
Yeah.
punch
We
it?
still.
Because I have brass knuckles on me, so I'm just gonna deck
Do
this
you
thing
have
in
any
the face.
benefit to your speed?
No.
Do you have anything that detracts from your speed?
No.
Okay, then make a kick some ass roll.
Okay. Um, 13.
You guys are rolling extremely well. I'm beginning to wonder if these dice are loaded. You're like, oh, and you go after it, and right before it tries to dive under the weak part of the chain link fence, you grab it by its tail and pull it back and like whip it around. And you bang it on the concrete, and it seems to hurt it, but it ain't dead.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to emphasize this is a big ass rat. That's how I wrote it on the adventure. Big ass rat.
If he's got it
Like the
by the
Nutcracker
tail,
rat?
can I go in and see if I can just stab
Like
it?
Princess
Why not?
Bride.
Kick some ass.
Let me get those
Stab
stats.
it.
Ooh, that's no good. That's a
Oh.
5 in total. Oh, and I'm sorry, 4 in total.
You go to stab it, and
no.
accidentally
I'm gonna stab. Right.
You stab yourself.
you stab Ryder in the head.
I'm gonna use some luck on this one too.
Are you sure?
No.
Well,
Yeah,
just a rat.
no, yeah.
It'd be real fun.
You go to stab it,
dead.
and it kind of squirms, and you stab Ryder in the hand.
Shit.
Ryder, you take one less harm. What's your harm from
It
your
is
knife?
1 harm.
Ryder, you get stabbed in
Just
the hand,
like-
and you're like, ow. It doesn't really hurt you, but there's a knife sticking through your hand.
Do we pin the rat down with his hand?
No.
Because you missed.
No benefit.
The
there.
rat pulls away, having been taken advantage of that opportunity, and heads off towards the field.
Damn it.
I mean, should we follow it? Find
I mean,
out
are we
where
gonna
they're
go in
going?
the field though? Like, especially it's getting dark.
It is
Dusk?
yeah. And the field's like just weeds and
I
tall
don't think we
grass.
should be running the field with it, even though it's probably a little messed up. But is there any blood trail, or does it even bleed after getting slammed?
No, it didn't bleed from the slam. I think that this might be the time.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stab you.
Just pull the knife out. Ah.
What's your special tactical thing? What is that?
My
Is that for read a bad situation?
yes, tactical genius. When I read a bad situation, I use my cool.
I want you to make that roll.
Okay.
As you are contemplating,
7, 9.
as you are contemplating chasing the rat, and the sun is setting, you see, like, beyond the chain link fence and the sporadic trees and the tall grass, you see way off in the distance the chemical plant.
It's running towards the plant. We might have a new location.
Yeah.
Chemical making these
And how
rats
far
massive.
You say the plant was?
I mean,
from
it's
town?
on the
5
edge
miles.
of the horizon. Like, you see it,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, so
it's
it's out
several
away from
miles
town.
outside of town.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna meekly group
Smash
back
cut
up
back
with
to the
Ryder.
inside. Young Anna comes back to your table, and she's like, I'm sorry, I can't get you any more drinks right now, but my father is trying to fix the phones. She's like, would you like anything else, or would you just like the check?
Can we ask you some questions real quick?
Sure.
There was a poster by the bathroom about a missing child.
Oh, yes. I saw that. That's poor Mrs. Fisher.
Did you know Sarah or the family?
Well, I knew her when I was younger, and I was a Girl Scout, and she was one of the Brownies. I didn't know her, but I mean, it's a small town. But they seem like a very nice family. They used to come in here quite a bit.
Ask if they know where last saw her, like where she went. Oh, it was by the park, right?
It was
Yeah.
the park.
Okay.
Yeah. Do a lot of kids in this area hang out at the park, like on a regular basis?
The younger ones, yeah, because there's not much to do. The teenagers my age, the ones who like to party, sometimes they go to a motel. She's like, I don't really do that though. My mother and father would kill me. She's like, is there anything else?
I think we're good, yeah, just the check.
Okay, no problem. She kind of goes off and comes back with the check. And then she's like, I hope it's not a problem, but our credit card machine isn't working because the phone line's not working. Can you pay in cash?
Do you have cash?
No.
You think John has cash?
You know that John has cash.
I always have cash.
John's not allowed to leave a paper trail.
He's the
Leave a
leader.
paper trail. He doesn't leave a paper trail. Black Ops.
Money, please.
I imagine we'll be coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it. What are you using me?
So you guys pay, and I just want to emphasize this. You guys had appetizers, you had entrees, you had multiple alcoholic beverages.
Get out, man.
So
It was $20. It was $20.
Yeah, it was
I don't
like
even eat, but I ordered a
$42.
steak.
What a deal.
Thanks, John.
Thanks,
Put it on the old
thanks,
business
not
credit.
Cook County.
So after your fantastic meal, well, so you guys come back to the table.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. One
Whatever.
small detail. Ryder, what about the knife? You just pull it out and
Yeah, I
Got my
feel
knife
pull it
back.
out, maybe try to wrap the wound.
yeah,
That is
it's
in my
not
hand.
bleeding profusely
Yeah.
because you're part zombie, so it's
Right.
just kind of like an open wound. But yeah,
Yeah.
You sort of wrap it. You guys notice when they come back in, like John looks a little sweaty and maybe frustrated and angry, and you notice that Ryder's right hand or left hand has a cloth wrapped around it that looks a little red.
So what happened?
John stabbed me.
We found one of the rats. And how big would you say this thing is? Like,
It is easily the size of like a large raccoon.
okay. So I'll explain what we saw, what happened, where it went.
My juju bag didn't do anything.
Yeah, this situation.
I was doing something, but then got stabbed.
I'm sorry,
Was this
okay?
personal?
Maybe a little bit.
Events transpired.
We'll get into that later.
Events transpired. But so we saw the giant rat, run off towards the chemical plant several miles out of town. Y'all have squared up. John has paid for your meals. I think we should go to the chemical plant.
Well, I mean, should we go to the chemical plant now, or are we going back to Janice's house and scoping it out?
I feel like the chemical plant needs
Yeah.
to wait. There's still so much to do in town.
Yeah, it's a real
kinda
lively
scared
town.
We have
rat
Janice, we
off.
have, or
but
we
he was
have,
running
we need
towards
to
the
scope
chemical
out
plant.
these parties at the motel with these kids.
Someone just
Oh yeah,
wants to
you guys
party.
didn't hear about. No.
No,
But
what
I feel
part?
like this might be a source of information now that. There's a missing child in the mix.
but we
no
just,
one's
like-
taking me seriously.
Nothing's as important as these cats.
That is a
okay?
good point, though. Do
The
we-
mayor doesn't care about the child. We care about cats.
I still have bait.
Do we tie in the missing child into this problem? Do we think it's related?
I think it's no small coincidence,
Right.
but
Where do we start from there? Like I said, maybe check the
we
other
just
kids.
saw a rat. We've been seeing all this evidence of rats,
Yeah.
not missing children. We've been seeing evidence of rats.
One of the rats could have eaten the
And-
child.
Exactly. And we've seen the evidence of the rats, and we saw a rat run to the chemical plant.
We still need to know how that cat died.
It had no external marks.
Probably natural causes.
But why was it in her yard?
Some cats go to hide
Yeah.
when they're feeling sick. And
You ever seen Marley and Me?
The rat.
At this time, you paid in cash, presumably, and she like thank you. She apologized.
Big tip.
I'm so sorry that our phone lines are down, and then you notice like as you guys are kind of getting up to head back out, you notice that like several people are on their phones and they're like, oh, come on, like
Check our phones too.
you have no signal.
Okay. Calm is down. Okay.
I'm gonna lose my Snapchat streak.
Okay.
I don't think we focus on kids'
Yeah.
parties right now.
My cell phone's not working. Stay off your cell phone and do your job. That's what her dad says, because that's what the dad would say.
We're taking on a cell tower though, like. that would
Something
report
from the
this
giant
information.
plant.
Yeah.
Maybe
Not
the rats
the
are
cats
going
in
up.
Janice's house.
Well,
Ice.
let's go to this chemical plant then.
Yes. Let's go to big industry outside of town.
Okay.
Let's go.
On your way back out to the truck, you see a familiar face, homeless Joe. All of his bags
And
are
you're
in the
full.
cart.
Yeah, I'm good.
And he's walking, like it looks like maybe he's walking towards the cantina from the gas station. He's about like half block away.
Ask if Joe's seen anything weird.
Is he seen the
Here's
rats?
buddy.
Is he friends with the rats?
Is he the rat piper?
What's up, Joe? Why are you,
He
where
looks
are you
at
going?
you at first and he's like, "Oh, hey man, corn dog man.
Yes, corn dog.
Hey brother, how you doing? How y'all do? Hey, you got any leftovers?" He looks around. He's like, "Oh, okay."
There's a dumpster out back.
Damn.
I ain't going back
jeez.
there, man. No way. Not at nighttime.
What's wrong with going back there at night?
There's rats in this town, man. I don't know what's going on. I can't even sleep over by the gas station no more at nighttime. I gotta keep moving. I gotta find me somewhere to hole up.
Joe, you know where these rats are coming from? You see where they go?
Man, I don't know. It seems like at nighttime there's just been more of them. I don't know what's going on around here. He says, seems like, by dumpsters, that kind of stuff. He's like, I did see some of them over by the, across the street from the gas station. Some there. I seen one time I was looking through the dumpster behind Mel's, and it was fixing me around this time, and man, I don't know. I heard something kind of almost growl at me, and I just took off, man. Then like I told you, man, I'm telling you, one of those things broke into one of my bags when I was sleeping and took those leftover foods. He's like, y'all watch out for those rats, man.
You might have a horde at the chemical plant.
Yeah. Go check out some of the other dumpsters. Give it another shot. Maybe you want to stab Ryder.
Have another hand.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Hobo Joe.
Yeah, man, stay safe.
You too.
I'm fixing to go to the motel and try to find a room on the second floor, man.
What's wrong with the first floor?
Oh, I don't know, man. That's too close to the dumpster. Plus, kids go over there to party, man. I'm trying to get some sleep.
Is there a party tonight?
I don't know. Maybe.
What do these kids do at the parties?
Kid things,
Sex,
drink
drugs,
beer,
rock and
smoke
roll.
weed, make out, that kind of stuff. Shit, I
fun.
wish I could, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got any money for beer.
Well,
Kind of in a conundrum. I mean, clearly the chemical plant's got the rats.
Yeah.
were there
But the whole missing
coming-
child, like, do we do something about that now? Like, where do we even start with that?
Joe, do you know anything about this missing
I was
child?
just gonna ask. Are you having this group?
No, just
in front of Joe.
Hey, Joe, you're talking missing kids?
Joe seems
asked
like a
him about
very
missing
down to
cats.
earth. Joe seems very down to earth, and I have a rapport established with Joe
Okay.
as giving him a meal. So I I'll ask Joe if he knows anything about Sarah Fisher. So
He says, Sarah Fisher. I don't know that I know. Oh, he goes, oh, hey man, is that little girl? I saw the mom putting up flyers.
Yep.
Yeah,
Little Girl
man,
Scout.
that ain't right. I hope that kid's okay. I don't know the family or nothing, but I saw the flyers.
The flyer said she was last seen at Patton Park. Did the kids ever go over there? Is there anything going on recently at Patton
sure,
Park?
man. They got basketball courts, you know, the playground, all that stuff. Little kids hang out there all day, families. It's not a bad park. I used to sleep over there, but Johnny done kicked me out too many times, man. I'm sick of waking up to a foot in the ass, so I stopped sleeping. There's a clutch of bushes over there I used to be able to sleep under.
I think he's a little preoccupied tonight with the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, but I won't sleep outside no more, man. Not with those rats.
Well, I think we'll have to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let you go, Joe.
All right, man. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And he continues down the sidewalk.
Okay, so
I think we got to better leave the rats, honestly.
at
Yeah.
the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just drive, down the road.
We can
to
go
it.
down the road to the plant. We can still do a stakeout at the house. There's clearly stuff going on at the house.
It's not like we're sleeping anyway.
Well, yeah, there's stuff to do. I mean, I guess there's the party to investigate, or whatever, at the motel,
if there are any.
if there are, what's
And
going
we
on at
even-
the
like, we
park,
even
because we can go to the
investigate the
park.
park. Yeah, right.
But I would say right now, the chemical plant.
Yeah. Going back, when the rat was running in the field towards the plant, did it look like the plant was active?
It was lit up.
Lit up, okay. Yeah, because that could make things interesting. If people even were there or not.
Let's
The
go.
cover of darkness.
Yeah, I mean, may as well just scope it out.
Let's do it.
We'll get in the BM.
Yeah.
The big BM.
You guys get in, pull out of the cantina, take a drive down a couple blocks, turn left, start heading in the direction of the plant. You pass by the gas station, pass by the strip plaza, keep going. Several miles outside of town, kind of on a solo road, you see this large plant. By now it's night. Lights are on. Steam coming out of some of the exhaust towers. There's a drive off of the main road that leads to the plant. And there's a massive fence with barbed wire around the top. And there's a gate and a gatehouse with one of those gates. There's a light on. You see a guy inside there. He's wearing like a security outfit.
Should we get out of our vehicle and see if we can scope the perimeter and see if there's any openings in the fence to get in?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to breeze
I
our
don't-
way in.
But
Yeah.
John, you have a reason to be there because of work.
Yeah.
So
Right, but
can't we use that to our advantage to get
I'm
in?
going off speculatory information, so that doesn't mean
He's
these guys are
sent
going
it
to
down
agree
low.
with it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Because
So,
we have no official business to be here.
and we have the cover of darkness.
Sure.
There's a manned guardhouse or gatehouse.
Yeah.
I say we park the BM machine as discreetly as possible somewhere,
Okay.
and then we scope the perimeter. If giant rats can get in and out,
There's got to
That's
be
a good point. I mean,
there's got to be a hole
actually,
somewhere.
if we line up from the field, that side of the plant, let's just check that area. Like if it's making a straight shot
That's a good
to the
point.
plant, we can start there, assuming it's not completely obvious.
You can pass the plant, go down to a crossroad, do a big turnaround, go back. You want to search the field?
yeah.
Well,
See-
okay, if we know the rat went in the field and we're near the field, Sarah, can you read the rat's mind?
Probably have to see it though.
Correct.
Is the field go right up to the gate, like the fences?
So the field's kind of a lot of fields,
Yeah.
right? There was like an immediate field that's sort of in town where it ran into, that runs sort of behind a lot of the businesses on those cross streets. And then if you keep going, there's like a literal farm field, and then you get to the plant.
Is it overgrown or
No, the farm field part's pretty clean.
Okay, I mean, maybe check that area then.
Yeah.
At least, check the fencing.
Yeah.
I will, drop these guys off relatively close, move the BM a little further out, and meet up with them.
Okay, so you guys are gonna fan out and search the field.
Yeah.
While
check
staying
the
in
fence,
close proximity to each other, but kind of spread out.
Yeah, perimeter,
Same
like
area.
the fence to field.
I'm gonna say this takes a little time because you're covering a lot of area, and I'm assuming you don't want to be discovered.
Yeah.
So you're pretty smooth about it. It 2 hours go by. The fence looks very intact. Like the field nearest to the plant looks like a normal farm field. You don't see any skittering or rats running through or field mice or anything like that. The overgrown weeds field closer to town, if you head back that way, it has what you would think like broken beer bottles and just garbage and junk and weeds. Now make an investigative mystery roll.
That's a 5 for me.
You don't see any rat tracks in this field.
So do you think there is it created a hole somewhere and just tunneled?
It's a big field.
It's a big field, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous wandering around in this field looking for this massive creature that you described to Sarah and I. So,
Well, you guys have.
You got anything, any powers over there that can help us with anything?
I've got magical powers and hidden allies.
Can we attempt to break in to the, cut open the
Looks like the
fence?
fence.
Do you think something bad is about to happen?
I don't think something good's about to happen, like hanging out in this field.
Something bad is.
Because if something bad is happening or about to happen, I can have a hunch.
Well, you're the one with the feelings.
Well, then I have a hunch.
Sarah has a hunch.
I have a hunch something bad's about to happen.
What do you need to roll for that hunch?
So a 10 would be I know where I need to go just in time to get there. A 7 to 9, I'll get there late but in time to intervene.
I think you should roll.
I think so too.
You have a hunch.
No wonder spookies are turbo powered.
And so, I have preparedness.
8.
Plus your.
Nothing but sharp. Yep, so 8. So I get there late but in time to intervene but not prevent it altogether. Whatever bad might.
You feel like this abandoned, overgrown field of weeds that's behind the cantina and other businesses and buildings maybe how the rat moved, but maybe the rat didn't go towards the plant. Maybe the rat went somewhere else that's adjacent to that field.
So you want to get us back to town, you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
We spent
What's
2
that?
hours and found
Your
nothing
hunch is that
behind.
that rat didn't go miles through fields, that it's
Okay.
probably somewhere back nearer to town.
Yep. So we gotta go back.
Let's go back. To the BM.
I think this might be a lost cause for tonight.
Well, I mean, do we go back to Janice's then?
That's what I'm thinking.
What else we got?
What is kind of near the field besides the cantina?
So around the corner is the strip plaza, the abandoned strip plaza with the pawn shop and the other closed down businesses. And then across the street from that is the gas station. Those are kind of near. And then the cantina.
Could go investigate the strip mall.
Are they making a nest in there or something? If it's all closed down, no one's
all
gonna be bothering
closed.
us.
Yeah.
Check that out on the way.
Because we can. The stakeout might be not the most.
I know.
It might be ways because she heard things like 3 nights ago,
Yeah.
so it's not like it's an every night thing. So I think if we've investigated the chemical plant and at this time it's like a dead end, I think investigating the strip mall.
Right. And the rat's scratching her fence because crapshoot anyway.
Yeah.
So. But we may as well check the strip mall.
So you guys driving back towards town?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's nighttime, you're driving back. As you're driving back, you see a white van, like a work van, with like a ladder rack on the top, parked like just on the shoulder of the road with like a cone, and it's like, you know, lights are on, and you see a guy walking back through the field towards his van, and there's, in the field is a cell tower.
How deep into the field?
It's like, you know, 50 yards in, but you see him like walking up to the van. And he's carrying something.
Can I pull up and stop and be like, ask him, you know, what's going on? Or is it,
Sure. Yeah. So you pull up,
yeah.
ask him what's going on. He's like, fixing the lines again. And he says, I don't know what's going on around here. This is the third time in the last week.
Do we have signal? Do our cell phones
Yes,
work right now?
you do.
Okay. So
is
he
this
did
guy
fix the
fixing
line.
And you
it?
see he's got his
Fix the
tool
line.
bag, and he holds this thing up, and it's a chunk of thick cable.
Yeah.
And he holds it up and he says, I don't know what's going on with this, but this is no squirrel chew, man. And he shows you this cable, and it looks like something gnawed through the thick outer rubber and the inner core and through the copper.
Maybe they are hanging out in the fields.
Maybe at the cell tower.
And I said, damn, man, what do you think did that? You know,
I don't know, but it
jokingly
wasn't squirrel chew, man. And he opens the back of his truck and he throws it in, and he puts his tools in. He's like, well, you all have a good night, and closes his back doors of his truck, pulls the cone.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Yeah.
You guys want to check it out?
I mean, yeah.
I think we'll stick around after he goes.
Yes.
Okay. He drives off. You guys kind of wait until he's out of sight, and then you walk out in the field.
Yeah, it's at park where he was. And
Yep.
Okay. You walk out to the field, and you see the base of the cell tower, and it's just kind of dirt and gravel. And would you like to investigate it?
Yeah, so let's
Yeah,
see if we
I
can
can investigate.
look
Okay.
around a bit.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, we got dice.
All right. Just keep him over there.
So I got a 2 plus 2, so I got a 4.
Can we support in any way? Anyone?
Can I use my, like, I'm here for a reason?
Can you? What does it say?
There's something you are destined to do. Work out the details with the keeper based on your fate.
Okay. You are here for a reason. You need to save a child.
The child
She's alive.
here right now with us?
No,
No, just
but you need
Oh,
to
in
save a
general?
child.
the collective here.
Oh, okay.
Something happened when you saw this flyer. You felt like this is important to you. You were looking around. I'm sorry. Would you like to burn a luck to fix that horrific roll?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and mark a luck off. You're like, this is pointless. You guys are walking around in the dark, looking at the dirt, and that's when you notice that it looks like something climbed this tower, like claw marks going up the side, and it looks like it could be the size of the large rat that you saw.
Okay,
You see the line is now repaired.
Right, the line is
It
repaired.
looks like something clawed its way up
Okay.
and gnawed through that line.
Right. So, but presumably it might not be up there. Like we can't climb this.
Yeah,
No,
you-
but also why would
No.
You don't see anything up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that
Because he
dude was
fixed
upstairs.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he fixed it. But so okay.
what's
So
it
they're
doing
around and
up
they're
there?
crawling around and eating. Okay. So is the cell tower? Are we near that? We're next to that strip mall, right? Or we're near it.
I'll say you're like a quarter mile away from town. So
Okay.
it's right up the road.
Right.
I feel like we should still check that area out.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is it chewing up lines now,
Yeah.
cables?
Yeah.
It just adds more to the mystery.
Well, it was chewing the poison traps and eating like
That's
the rats in there.
things. It wasn't going to climb up.
Well, it's queuing into basements, you know, and queuing on the sides of houses, like it's trying to get in.
Why not go up?
To electricity or something, you know? I mean,
The interference. I don't know what to do with this information.
well, we haven't checked out the strip mall.
Yeah, and I think we should
Yeah.
go to the mall, especially if we can't discern any other activity in this area. I know it's
Yeah.
pitch black, and you know, what else are we gonna do here? But we know there is activity in this field, though, or in
Yeah.
this area. Well, we got that much.
Yeah.
It's nighttime.
Yeah. How fitting.
And you guys arrive at the mostly closed down mall. You see a completely empty business that's looking for leasing. You see a closed down chicken place, a closed down Pizza Hut, a closed down nail salon, a closed down karaoke place. You see a pawn shop. It looks like it's open, but the closed sign is on and the lights are out because it's, 9 o'clock at night in Lad. So why would that be open?
Too late. I'd say let's check the backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a walk, see if there's
Yeah.
any ways to.
Okay.
Take a look at
Any
the perimeter.
openings? Any openings? Any?
Is it actually lit up like that? Like, is it pretty well
is.
lit?
Yeah. So you want to go around to the back by that field. Okay.
Yeah.
You go around the back. You do see a couple dumpsters. You don't hear anything or see anything in the dumpsters. You notice the back center of the strip plaza is fenced in. Like there's a big 10-foot fence. It's chain link, but it has that like weave through it, so you can't really see through it very well. But there's no light in the back of the entire strip plaza.
Check
And
that.
as you guys are coming around the corner, because it's kind of on an angle, you see the fence, and then you see like someone standing by the gate to that fence. Their back is to you. It looks like a smaller person.
Get a light on him.
Sure. You get a light on, and it looks like a girl. Like her hair's kind of down, and her clothes look a little dirty, but she's just standing there.
Can I yell her name, Sarah?
Well, do you reckon, does it look familiar to the poster? Because you haven't really looked at it.
Well, I mean, the chances of her being in her
No, I mean like the hair, the style,
long hair.
anything.
I mean, it's enough for me to say, Sarah, and see if I get a response.
You say Sarah?
How close are we to?
I don't know. How close do you want to be? I'll say
I mean,
you
when we
see
saw her,
You
like-
see her when you're like 25 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah. Might as well.
I mean, you want to keep like moving up to her? Can you say her name?
Sarah.
You just get confused, but what?
Sarah.
Doesn't move.
I'll keep
Is
the light
this-
on her and move up.
Is
like,
this
walk
the
towards
same
her.
case as that kid that was out front of Janice's house?
I'm not
Do your whole thing.
I don't do
Spooky.
Spooky.
Take that hard, man.
Do your whole
Would
hand.
you like to read her surface thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have to roll?
roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me that roll.
Nice.
10
Plus.
plus
It's your weird, right?
2, so 12.
Ooh. Indeed. You kind of concentrate, and in her surface thoughts, you hear her voice saying, "Guard the gate, guard the gate, guard the gate, guard the gate." And then, because you rolled so well, you hear a much deeper voice inside of her head that says, "Kill them." And when you hear that, the little girl turns around. It does not appear to be Sarah Fisher. Looks like some other girl, maybe the same age. And when she turns around, she's holding 2 very large kitchen knives. And she starts walking towards you guys. And you notice there's like no emotion on her face. She just starts walking towards you guys with the knives. What would you like to do?
So you want to act under pressure?
Yeah, I think. Which I mean,
Plus
gotta
0.
detain her.
Yeah.
I mean, get the knives away from her.
Two.
You can,
So definitely not gonna.
you want to act
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. How do you detain her? Get the knives out of her hands, or he's like,
Okay.
somehow stop her from potentially stabbing.
So you want to try to disarm or grapple her in some
but I don't
way
want to hurt her.
without hurting her.
Yeah.
Okay. Act under pressure.
Ooh, that's a 6.
She stabs you. You take a point of harm.
Yeah.
You're like, ah!
Would my friend
guess
help me
no.
in this
She's
situation? Or she just like
Can I help
cut me
out?
on the arm.
She cuts you on the arm.
So that's 1 harm.
What would you like to do?
Or are you acting under pressure? Helping.
Yeah, help
Yeah.
out someone.
Yeah, I want to help out.
Non-lethal way of kicking ass. You could still do kick some ass. Like it could be a tackle. You know what I mean? Or you
I
could,
had breast knuckles.
So you got the
or you
plus.
could try something
You got
else.
the +2 for act under.
Yeah, I've
Well, but
Just a little bit.
because I just have
Can
a
I
physical
like
weapon. So.
manipulate her?
Can you?
I can also manipulate people without speaking.
Oh, game on.
So I'm going to try and do that.
Yeah.
Versus the demon.
Oh,
So you're gonna try to mentally stop her.
Yep.
Good. Do it.
7 plus 2.
9.
So 9.
Oh. A partial success. She stops. You seem to have, like, broken through to her. Her expression is still that frozen look, but she stops. But then you hear something else in your mind.
In my mind?
In your mind. And that voice in your mind says, leave this place.
So I can do Dark Past. If I trawl through my memories for something relevant to the case at hand, roll plus weird. On 10 plus, I can ask the keeper 2 questions. On 7 and 9, I can ask 1.
Go for it.
5 plus 7. Okay.
Okay, so
Seven.
what does a 7 grant you?
So I can ask 1 question.
What's happening?
Do I know anyone? Hold on. Who do I know who can help us right now?
Would you like to ask another question?
What black magic do I know that could help here?
I'm going to answer that question by saying you don't think that this is magic based.
Okay.
You
'Cause my
feel like
juju-
this is
'cause my juju
something.
bag didn't work
Demonic.
earlier.
This is something not magic based, not ghost or possession based. This is something that maybe went awfully wrong from a scientific perspective.
Chemical based.
Okay, so she's still what, frozen? Or
Yep.
paused? Okay.
But then again,
But do
so
they
is Sarah.
know I'm frozen?
Uh huh.
Is her nose bleeding?
Nope. But you notice that she's not moving.
And at that point, they don't know anything that I know that was occurring.
correct.
So I got
Okay.
cut.
So
you
she's
two in a
paused.
stalemate.
The little girl with the knives is not
I know
moving
she-
towards you.
Can I act under pressure and try to grab the knives?
Yes.
If she's like frozen?
Yeah, did you get your
Actually,
plus cool?
no, you don't even need to roll. She's frozen. Like, she's
Yeah.
like, you go and take the knives.
Okay.
Joke's on me, I jumped the gun.
I'm going to use my brass knuckles and just deck this kid.
Do it. Roll that, kick some ass.
She's already missing.
Well, we don't know. We don't know who this child is.
Yeah, it's true.
Not at home.
10.
She hits the ground. You didn't
Okay.
kill her. She's unconscious.
Okay.
Are you prepping your next meal?
Yeah, maybe.
Tendering the meat?
Tenderizing.
You hear something move.
Does that break her out of the trance?
Yes.
Yeah.
You suddenly come to. You hear something move inside the fenced-in yard behind the corner business of the strip plaza. The comic book shop. It sounds like maybe several things moving and you hear the fence, like the chain link fence, rattle as if maybe something's climbing it, and you kind of see the fence kind of move a little bit as if something's climbing the fence from the inside.
Get a light on the fence.
Okay. As you put your light up, you see a rat head that's just as big as the one that you saw before, and the claws grab the top and it pulls itself up, and then another one and a third.
So I say we bail, right?
I mean,
We couldn't take down one. Now there's 3.
There's also 5 of us.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah.
many more of us now.
What are you gonna do? You gonna stab Ryder again?
I got a gun.
We do, yeah.
I mean,
like
well,
we
don't
have.
shoot.
He's got like a magical.
I've got +2 on weird, so if I use magic,
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are we gonna do running away? Like,
Fair.
And I can bite things.
Okay.
So would I
This is
say?
what we've
Would
been
I say
looking for
something
when
bad is
we were
happening
away.
now? Can I use another hunch? That something bad is happening?
You know that game Hot and Cold?
Seems pretty bad.
You're having like a psychic hot and cold. It's very warm. Let's just put it that way. You feel like it's very warm.
Okay. So, do we have like all of our weapons, like our weapons that we have in our, roster? Do we have those at hand now?
I know
we
the-
leave some at the BM.
You know where they are?
The truck
They're
does
back in the
have
trunk.
room
Okay.
for the weapons and stuff, so. I mean, the big guns, I guess. So.
The 3 rats are looking at you. You guys haven't moved so far.
My Kugro bag hasn't done anything before.
can I use magic?
Does anyone else have weapons on them or magic abilities currently?
On the truck.
I mean, I got a
Yeah.
I have a
pistol
knife.
and a knife.
I got my brass
Wait, I've got
knuckles
the
in
2
my
knives I
teeth.
stole from the child.
That's true.
Does anybody want one?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'll take a knife. Sure.
You hand the knife over, the
Yeah.
3 rats jump out towards you.
That was great.
We've not wasted time.
I will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Marie and Liam, you are both going to need to kick some ass.
Okay.
Or act under pressure. Your choice. If you want to fight these things, you're going to kick some ass. If you're going to try to duck and avoid them attacking you, you're going to act under pressure.
I'm gonna act under pressure.
Okay.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
kick some ass.
Kick some ass, act under pressure, roll. Tell me what the results are.
So you got 7.
7.
10.
Okay. Just as she hands you this knife, these things jump out at you. You're like, whoosh, and you cut one of them
Yeah.
deep. And it bleeds, and it shrieks and kind of falls to the ground. You're like, and you try to duck out of the way, and it claws you for 1 harm. And now it's trying to crawl up and bite you. The third one is running towards you, sir.
Okay. I will act under pressure.
Okay.
I still have preparedness because if I need something unusual or rare, I can roll. But
And I'm going to need to know what you 2 guys are doing as well, even though there aren't rats currently attacking you.
so we said act under pressure. You got a 3.
You also are going to take a harm as a rat claws up towards you and is trying to climb up and bite you.
There'd be a chance for me to do a protect someone tough roll in that situation.
Yeah, who do you want to protect?
I'll protect
Vivi
who
or
am I
Mort?
friendlier with. I guess it would be Vivi because we're work friends.
Okay.
Before host.
Go ahead and do that.
No.
Yeah, my work bro. All right, so I get a tough +1. 8.
Okay. You pull a rat off of her, preventing the rat from biting her next round, but in turn, it turns and claws you for 1 harm.
Okay.
It's getting harmed.
And what is
Sarah.
Spooky Sarah doing?
I don't know what I can do.
You're gonna read the minds of the rats?
Can I read the minds of the rats and can I manipulate them? Can I manipulate animals?
I think you can manipulate them. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna manipulate them
All right.
to stop. 8, 10.
You just close your eyes and like concentrate, try to order them to stop.
Okay.
They do.
Yes.
You know, take the knives.
They jump off. Now, they don't seem to be completely under your control, but they seem to like have stopped and they're just like on the ground, like looking up at people.
Can I roll again to continue to manipulate them?
No, you got them.
Okay.
You got them locked down for now.
Can we like throw them in a dumpster or something? Like contain them?
Well, we've got 2 knives.
Yeah, we
have 2
Can we
knives.
stab them?
And
What,
brass
are we
knuckles.
just
stab them
and brass
repeatedly?
knuckles.
Okay.
And accuser bat.
You can. It seems like while they're frozen, you could do that. So you stab them.
Okay.
Okay.
Stab, stab.
Yep.
Okay.
They're dead. Especially the one that you already stabbed.
Okay.
The third one, what are you killing it with?
Well,
Did you do
I was hoping I would get assistance from
Do you want to
one of my neighboring
stomp it out?
knives. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll curb stomp it.
All right.
It's American X.
Kick
you
some
know.
ass,
Yeah,
roll.
American History X here, you know? Okay.
I'll give you a bump. Kick some ass. Roll.
Okay.
Coup de grace.
10.
Okay. You stomp it. You hear it snap. Bones
Okay.
crack.
Okay. So we walked out of there with what, 3 harm? 3 of us got a harm.
Yeah. So we got 3
Sarah,
dead
you hear
rats.
something in your mind
I hear something in my mind.
because the rats are dead, but you hear this. They will suffer for your
What did you hear?
choices.
I hear we will suffer for our choices.
No, it wasn't
Their
you will.
choices.
It was
They will.
they will suffer for
Who's
your
they?
choices. Ah, there you go.
Probably children.
The cats.
The cats are going to suffer.
Yeah, probably the children, Marie.
I still have bait in my pocket from the gas station.
That's what that smell is.
Someone help me!
Did we peek over the fence?
Is there a child?
There's of a child screaming from inside somewhere.
Okay.
We scramble this
Yeah, we gotta
fence.
hop
Hop
that
the fence.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we all hop a fence? We're all athletically capable of hopping a fence.
Yes.
That
We are?
give someone a little boost, help out.
Okay, you guys make your way over the fence.
Okay.
Again, it's dark.
Right.
In this yard, this fenced-in area behind the comic shop, you jump down from the fence, pull out your phone lights, and you just see carnage. You see dead cat parts and skins torn apart, just blood and gore everywhere. And it looks like many more than just Mrs. O'Donovan's cats. Like, looks like maybe some farm cats and just cats. And you see 2 children standing just at the back door of the comic shop, just standing there with a blank face. Like you shine your light up on them, no reaction.
Is one of them Sarah?
No. They're 2 boys. They do not look as like dirty and unkempt as the girl that Ryder knocked out, who was guarding the gate outside. Just blank faces, like just staring out. Not even at you, just staring out.
So whoever cried out help was probably in the building.
Yes,
Okay.
you see one door, the back of the comic shop.
And these kids are like guarding the back door.
Yeah, they don't look like they're carrying any weapons.
And as far as like you said, they're carnage out there, like they're not covered. You said they weren't dirty. They're not covered in blood.
No, something
Okay.
else ate these cats. And the way that the cats are torn up doesn't look like the big rats like bit and ate at them. Like something bigger than the big ass rats tore these things up.
Use some guns, right?
Can we go back to the truck and get, like,
Or do we
load up?
run back over the fence, grab the guns, bust out the front?
I mean,
Because we know it's the
Yeah.
comic store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done with that.
What if we split up?
You see
Scooby.
now that you're inside of the gate, inside of the fence. You see the gate, and it's not locked.
Oh,
We just open it.
Yeah.
let's do a quick run.
It's nothing. Back up. The children don't seem to react.
Yeah. Like,
They're just staring straight ahead.
So let's-
And as you guys back out, you go back out the gate. The little girl that you knocked out still knocked out. The rat corpses, the
concussion.
3 rat corpses are still out there. You run back to the truck. Tell me what you were getting from the truck. And this obviously is relatively important. So
okay. Well, my magic has done nothing so far. So I'm going to grab my magnum, which has 3 harm, close, and it close, reload, and loud. So, over my blessed knife.
I'll grab my submachine gun.
okay.
It's going to kill some children.
Yeah.
We will kill the bad thing.
Liam, what are you
And there are
grabbing?
children in the
I
house.
mean, I can. My loadout's literally just the brass knuckles that I have
Okay.
and my teeth.
Literally
So, well, so you've just got this.
I only have a
one
9mm and a
three
big knife,
aspects.
which I think the knife is already on me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right, I have a special weapon. So with a handle, it's got an artifact, a blade, and a chain on it.
You have a Manriki Kusari.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
That's
Oh,
it's-
and it's
It's made of obsidian.
yeah.
But it's because it's got 1 harm for the handle. Then read the other.
Yeah, it's got
You grab
add
your
magic
loadout
to
like
it.
a bunch of badasses. You go back to the gate. The 2 children are no longer standing outside of the back of the comic book door.
Jeez, wonderful.
There's a single light that seems to be not like an electrical light, because you see like flickering. Maybe it's like a candle or something. So there's some light inside of the comic book store.
I guess we gotta go in.
What's our marching order? Who's opening the door?
Sarah, do you have a hunch?
I always have a hunch.
Something bad gonna happen?
Everyone, I think there's something bad in
hot
there.
and cold. You're like hot, hot, hot,
Yeah.
hot, hot, very hot, burning
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah,
Burning hot pizza.
definitely I have to hunch that.
I mean, I'm kind of hurt, but I do have the flak vest, which I feel like we're fighting something more than squirrely rats that might help.
Like,
it's
I still got
1
this
armor.
preparedness where it's if we need something unusual or rare, and if I roll high enough, like I have it on us.
Help! Someone, please help!
I'll go in
Hear the
first.
voice
I was gonna say I can
from inside.
take 1 less damage.
Yeah.
So I should
You're
run
tank.
all my.
Don't
Yeah,
take a
the-
kid.
Well, can't promise that, but
Hey, you're still full
yeah, I'm full. We're good.
for now.
All right, lead the pack.
Yeah,
I'll go in second. Though.
Okay, Ryder,
yeah.
approach the door. You go to open it, it's unlocked.
Okay.
You open the back door. It's metal, classic metal security door. You open the back door, you see barely lit through, like you're kind of in the back of the comic shop. This comic shop has been trashed. I mean, not only are comics and shelves just all over the floor, but you see more gore. A lot more. Like, maybe this is where the feeding happened, and then the discards were thrown outside for this smaller big-ass rats. Like, the walls are covered in gore, and it smells like dead cats and other gross things. Down the short hallway, you see the main area of the comic book store, which again is completely just trashed. And you see the 2 children that you saw outside standing out there just staring down the hallway towards you guys. And then you hear a voice again, voice of a little girl, coming from beyond them, somewhere in the comic book store that you don't see. Help! Someone please help me! Help me! Don't let him eat me! Help!
Gotta run in, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, you guys all hear this.
Yeah.
So you're running in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're running in, you're sort of like slipping on comic books and kind of trying to get through these shelves that are knocked down. And you run right by the 2 kids who are unarmed, and you're in the main part of the comic book shop. And when you get in the main part of the comic book shop, you notice that a bunch of the shelves have been kind of piled up, almost to create like a makeshift sort of like wall next to what you assume was like the counter. And you see a little girl standing kind of at the entrance to this sort of cave made of shelves. And you're pretty sure it's Sarah Fisher. And she does not have a blank expression, but you notice that she's completely tied up. And she's tied to like an electrical conduit piece that's right next to the entrance of the shelf cave. And she sees you guys and she's like, please help me. And she's looking over her shoulder into the shelf cave.
She's making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So whatever's in there is probably going to come out.
You hear something moving, but it's odd. It sounds like it's moving from below you. And you see like the shelf cave vibrating, and the girl's freaking out. She's bawling. She's like, get me out of here! It's coming! It's coming! And she's looking over her shoulder into the shelf cave.
You said she's tied up with like an electrical
Yes.
what was it, conduit thing?
Yep.
So just like electrical cable, or it's like like she's
No, like somebody took an extension cord and wrapped it around her and then tied it to a conduit.
Okay.
And she's like pulling against it
Someone-
frantically, like screaming for help.
Can we try
I need to know
cut
what you
her?
guys want to do in 10 seconds.
Okay.
9,
Untie her and get her out of there.
Yeah,
7,
we'll run to get her.
6,
See if we can get her out of that
5,
situation.
Yeah.
4,
Liam, you're
We're-
first.
Okay.
3,
Yeah, I'm
Run.
going in and
2,
untying her.
Okay.
1. You run over to untie her.
Yeah.
All right, you're working through the knots. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Coming back to you in 10 seconds. What are you doing?
I got SMG ready, point at the where the
you
rustling's
move
coming
over
from.
so you could see into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no light. What do you want to do? What are you doing?
I'm ready to go into the cave with my weapon.
Okay, it's pretty dark. What are you doing?
Okay. Seeing it's dark, I've got my light out with the two of them.
Okay, you go over there.
Okay.
I got my gun ready to shoot something.
Okay, you're untying the girl. You guys go over there. You aim a light, and you see that something ate through the floor behind the counter. And you see it just goes down into a basement. And it's getting closer, like it's coming to this point.
Can I use my Destiny's Plaything? So,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm gonna roll, and it's plus weird to see what is revealed about in our immediate future.
Oh, please roll that. This will be a gem.
Better be high numbers.
+2, so 5, 7.
7.
Oh.
So on a 7 to 9, you get a vague hint about it.
You are going to encounter something that is very big, very dangerous, and probably won't negotiate with you.
Where are we on untying the rider?
That's a very good question.
And it's getting closer. The shelf cave is rocking back and forth. You guys can feel vibrations. Ryder,
Yeah.
you pull the last bit of electrical stuff off. And the girl's like, thank you. And she runs. She starts running towards the back. You kind of back up. You guys are looking at the shelf cave. You're holding the light up. And you see a head emerge. And it's a rat head. But it's about 6 feet long and 4 feet wide. It's basically the size of an elephant. And the rat head pokes its head up in from this hole, and its claws, and it's looking at you, and it's like, and it screeches in terror at you.
Can we just react by unloading into it?
Yes. Gun, yeah.
So we will start to my left.
Okay. Do I have to roll anything for?
You want to kick some ass, don't you?
Yeah. So I'll just do a submachine gun into it.
You fire a submachine gun, unloading it into its face. Go ahead.
That's going to be a 10 in total. And that would be for a 3 harm.
That is
Close
success. Okay. You.
Can I manipulate his mind?
Do you have any other weapons?
Try.
He
Can I
said
try?
wouldn't negotiate.
Yeah.
No, but she doesn't know that.
Okay, oh, that's right.
You know that.
She knows
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Well, I'll try it anyway.
All right, so you are going to use your mind powers.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll.
We're going around. Can I step out?
9.
9. 9. Is 9 really a success? It's a partial success. What do you want to manipulate its mind to do?
To freeze, so it can't move.
It stops very briefly, and you will take 1 point of harm. It doesn't like you mind controlling it, and it terrifies you by implanting a thought in your mind of it slowly chewing through you while you're alive. Okay, what's Ryder doing? There is the largest rat creature that you've ever seen in your life.
I'm running in and I'm trying to take a bite out of this thing.
Awesome. I imagine you trying to bite a rat the size of an elephant. Go ahead. You're just like, ah!
Yeah.
Kick some ass.
That's a 10.
Okay, success. What's your harm?
3.
Okay. Your bite. So here's the interesting discovery you make. You bite it, and you feel like you got a good bite in there. Like you should have ripped off some serious flesh. Its flesh seems to be almost calloused.
Okay.
Like an elephant in some way. So you do some damage to it, but you feel like its flesh is harder.
Would it help if I said I have an extra that adds ignore armor to a base?
Yes, that would help for me to know. You effectively tear into its flesh. Good, nice move. All right, what's Morty doing?
Morty's using his magnum.
I thought you were going to say the juju bag again. No, Adam, it didn't work.
We've established my magic doesn't
All
do
right,
much.
you pull out the big magnum and dirty Harry this guy. Go ahead and roll some kick some ass.
Magnum, the gun, not magnum. 8 minus 1, it's 7.
You fire just above it, but miss.
Typical.
Rats.
It kind of flinched when Ryder bit into it. So as it flinched, your bullet just flew overhead.
So you got your...
So is this thing still peeking up through the hole?
Yeah, it's about to come out of the hole and try to eat you guys.
Okay.
But you were seeing it as it's emerging.
Can I act under pressure and try to barricade the cave?
Like collapse the shelves onto it?
Yeah.
You could. Now I will warn you, you have a friend who's biting into it, so if your roll doesn't go well, that friend might also go crumbling down into the basement.
How confident do you feel in your roll?
I mean, logistically, you feel like there's a chance that Ryder could go tumbling down in the basement with it. What would you like to do?
Do you think you could handle a fall like that?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I can handle a giant rat alone. I can handle the fall.
Well, your weapon has an area effect to it too.
Maybe, because I don't want to lose you.
Oh.
10 seconds.
Okay, I am going to do kick some ass instead
With your special weapon?
with my special weapon.
Ooh, rock it out.
Yeah. 5.
Does your special weapon ignore armor?
It's got a magic ability.
So my handle has 1 harm hand balanced, and then I've got an add magic tag, a +1 harm, and then an add area tag.
So you whip it, swing out, and you go to attack. it grabs with its one claw, grabs your chain and pulls you forward into it. And you basically take a harm as you're like, huh, and like it pulls you forward and you hit this thing like kind of on its open mouth. You take a harm. Liam, you are bit.
Yeah.
It bites you back. It kind of goes whoosh, and like knocks you up against the wall and bites you. You take 4 harm.
Okay.
Actually, you don't,
So
because you take
take
one
one
less.
less, so
you
3.
take 3. You're up.
So, what's the I mean, I know
You guys
Liam's
are in
it.
You're just clustered on this thing, and it's trying to come up to eat you, but you're attacking it. And
So, if I wanted to use my submachine gun, it has a reload tag. How does that work? Do I have to immediately reload?
you said that you unloaded it last
Right.
round.
So how?
You want to reload?
Yeah,
now?
would I be able to
Okay.
just reload?
Yep.
Just to keep shooting?
Yep.
Okay.
You reload.
All right.
You.
Well, I am not going to try and stun it again.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot at him.
You had Gump.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to be beneficial.
Okay.
You pull out your
My 9
Glock and you
Yes.
shoot. Go
Yes.
ahead. Kick some ass.
shoot in the eye.
2.
9.
Okay, you do shoot it. How much damage does that do?
2.
Okay. Liam. You're still wrestling with the big rat.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite him again.
Okay, bite away. Kick some ass.
7.
You bite him, but this time it does not do enough to bite through his
Okay.
hardened derma. Adam, what's Morty
If I
doing?
do dark pass to trawl through my memories, see if I can ask a question.
Okay,
So roll plus weird. Okay, 8 plus, so 10. So I can ask 2 questions. When I dealt with this creature or one of its kind, what did I learn?
okay. You have never dealt with a creature like this per se. But let's say that in your research, you have learned of creatures that have been mutated under a variety of different circumstances. Exposure to certain radioactive elements, exposure to certain biological elements, and exposure to certain chemical elements. And you feel like there's something with that chemical part that ties in here somehow. You also know that there's no light on in this place other than one candle that was in the back entrance of the comic book store. What would you like to do?
Can I go get the
You run away from your
candle.
friends,
I run away.
abandoning them, and go to get the candle.
Yes.
Marie, what would you like to do?
I would like to use magic and flip all the lights on.
Oh, game on. Go ahead.
We're using her noggin.
9 plus 2. 11.
You concentrate, and the lights start to flicker. They're like crappy strobing fluorescent lights, and they're flickering, and it's brighter. And you notice that it doesn't like that, and it's angry.
Doesn't like the light.
Now it's going to bite you, and it snaps out at you since you're right next to it, but it misses this time, and you're like, ah! You're up.
I'll take my action to unload again.
Okay.
So she said it seems like it's getting agitated.
Kick some ass. Roll well.
Yeah.
You do not want to
There we
unload
go.
into your
There's a
friend
10.
Liam. That is successful. You kind of like turn so that you're not shooting Ryder, and you just unload into this thing. What's your damage?
3.
And that hurts it a lot. It screeches in pain. Its blood is weird too. It almost looks like coagulated. It's like thicker, like goopy, like Caro syrup, thick. Like when it splatters, it sort of like doesn't splatter like normal blood. You're up.
I gotta shoot him again.
Go ahead.
Quick question: does it smell dead? Like, is there any unique smell above all the carnage?
It is so hard to distinguish subtle smells in here.
So it's not like anything unique. Other than everything corpse around it.
Read a bad situation. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let you roll that.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah.
Your 9
You can take the
hits it. You shoot. What's the damage?
2.
Okay.
8.
There are a lot of smells. I'll put it to you this way. But there's a different sort of smell down there. In the basement subterranean area. All right, Ryder.
Yeah.
Bullets are hitting this thing from all around you, and you're still right up on it.
I'm gonna do unquenchable vitality.
Yes.
Try to see if I can take some of my harm off here.
Okay.
That's a 5, so that's a miss, and my injuries worsen. So
As you're wrestling with this thing and trying to bite it, it sort of chomps some of your flesh out, and again, you're like, ow. Morty, you come back with the candle?
I have abandoned my friends and I come back with a candle.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're like, so that it doesn't blow out.
Yes.
You're like shielding it. There are comic books all over the floor.
Right.
I just wanted to remind you of that.
Right. But I'm questioning if they're flammable enough.
Make fire.
So what?
bonfire.
Well, yeah. So I attempt to use the candle to start lighting the comic books on fire.
Okay, you grab a comic book and
Right.
start lighting it. It
Yes.
starts to light.
Yes. Okay. I then throw it at.
One comic book that's on fire?
Well, like I've got like a bundle of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, but I've
You
got
have
my
a comic
candle.
book bundle that you're starting to light.
Yes.
Good. What
Yes.
do you do?
Okay.
Can I use magic again and have like gasoline come out of the sprinkler system?
Gasoline doesn't flow through sprinkler systems.
You're not that magical. You're not
Hold
that
on.
magical.
Gasoline doesn't flow through sprinkler systems. But what is adjacent, or what, sorry,
Right.
was adjacent to the comic book store?
Oh, that teriyaki place, right?
Restaurants.
Yes.
And what do restaurants have in their kitchens?
traps.
Gas lines.
Gas lines.
This all occurs to you as you're thinking about igniting a gas line?
Don't blow us up, Marie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to help this little fire he's trying to start over here, you know.
comic book shop would not have had a gas line in it. But I'm not saying no to you. I'm just saying I'm not going to spoon feed you the answer.
Leaking.
Yeah.
Leaking in the next unit.
Well, okay, so the lights are just flickering right now from the last.
You have activated lights when there weren't lights.
Yeah.
They're flickering because your magic is what's fueling them. The power is not on in this building. You are fueling magic to the lights to have them on.
Okay.
Read a bad situation.
Eight. -1, 7.
Okay. You're not sure how to make his fire thing work better without blowing up all of you. That's what I'll tell you.
Sorry, guys.
What would you like to do to actually do? Because that all took place in your brain in seconds.
Yeah. Well, maybe I try to come at this thing again with my special weapon.
Kick some ass.
Yeah. Four.
You're like, ha! And your special weapon kind of hits it and just sort of bounces off its fur and its thick skin. Oh no. I want you to make a plus weird roll for me.
Oh no. 7, 9.
Ooh. You feel someone trying to invade your brain and make you do mean things with your gun.
Oh no.
Shoot him. Shoot him. And you're like, you feel like the voice in your brain wanted you to turn and shoot John, but you're like, no, why would I do that? Like this is all in your mind, like this struggle, but you resist this urge.
Thanks. Don't shoot.
Thanks.
It starts to try to fight back to crawl out of the hole towards you guys. And it's a few feet more out of the hole to where like one of its claws can get some reach now. You're up.
I'm gonna reload.
Okay.
How close am I to the thing?
I mean, you guys are like within 10 feet of it.
Okay.
Okay, Christina. What would you like to do?
I mean, there's really not much I can do, but continue to shoot him.
Okay, kick some ass.
Oh, that was terrible. That was not good at all.
Remember all those awesome rolls that you guys had at the beginning of the game?
Catching up with us.
Karma.
That was a 3.
Pew! It bounces off of him and ricochets, and it grazes just right along his cheek. It grazes Ryder and leaves like a sharp red line on his cheek.
Guys.
But you don't take any harm. It's just cosmetic. However, it's your turn.
I'm going in and biting this guy again.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's take him out. 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're up. You now have like a wad of 4 comic books that's sort of like a torch now.
Yeah. I'm contemplating throwing them at the thing.
Okay.
I was wondering if I should read a bad situation before I do that. I'm thinking as I'm standing there with my comic books, might not be the best idea. I'm gonna read a bad situation. Natural 10 plus 2, 12.
Okay. You are certain that this fire and light will have some impact. You feel more like using it as a melee weapon and going up to burn it might be more effective than throwing it, because if your throw is off, because there are a wad of comic books, you might blow that opportunity and or burn your semi-undead friend. Would you like to kick some ass with a wad of
I will
burning
kick some
comic
ass
books?
meleeing the
Okay.
flaming bag of comic books. What comic books are they?
Yeah, they get anything good?
Yeah, it's actually
number 1.
X-Men, Spider-Man, and Avengers, and Secret Wars issue number 1. They were in mint condition. They were in mint condition. Now they're covered in dust and cat gore.
Well, burned.
7.
But you know what kills you the most? The stickers. On the stickers of these comic books, they were only $5 each because it's Central Illinois. Everything's cheaper. All right, a 7. You run up and you're like, huzzah! And you kind of like leap forward like a swashbuckler with your burning wad of comic books, and you singe some of it, but it doesn't do any damage. However, it recoils and it shrieks at you. So it kind of goes back to position 1 where just the bare tips of its claws are holding onto the floor and its head is snapping out. You're up.
Can I use magic
Keep going. There we go. Come on.
to intensify this
Yes.
fire?
Not bad.
10.
So you're using magic to intensify the burning.
Yes.
Here's what happens. You're like, "Wah!" and you see like fire leap off of his comic book torch wad and singe the actual creature. And it seems to do damage, and it seems to terrify the creature. The creature screeches out. Ah! It's burning fur, like stinking up the air in a cloud. Among other things that you notice in this smell, you smell, you know when there's like sewer gas? You smell that from down there. You smell like that sort of sewer gas smell. You're up.
How's the thing looking?
Almost dead.
It looks fairly wounded, but not quite near death. It seems like all of your attacks do something to it, but again, it has this weird, thick, calloused skin that sort of acts as a natural armor, except to people who bite it, who have ignore armor feature. I mean, you're chipping away at it.
Yeah, no, so I feel like just I'll keep shooting it and keep pushing it back and
Okay.
burning it. Kick some ass. Ooh, that's only a 6.
You're up.
I'm still shooting at him.
Okay. You have 2 bullets left.
Well, damn. I need magic bullets. 12.
Yeah. Kapow pow. How much damage does that gun normally do?
2.
No, it does 2. Actually 2. You're up.
Alright.
This thing is not happy about that fire.
Good.
Can I?
You read a bad situation. You're actually
Okay.
closest to it. Read a bad situation.
4.
You're like, everything in here smells, and now it smells worse because of burning fur. And you bite it. Go ahead.
12.
Yes. Damage?
3.
It shrieks in pain. You tear off, like you see Ryder tear off like a hunk of its calloused flesh, and it's like in his mouth, and he's like, ah, and just this chunk of meat flies.
Burning that spot.
You're up.
Okay, I've still got my flame. My gun doesn't do much.
You've got one more attack with this wad before you need to light another because it's rapidly burning because she overcharged it.
But we're smelling things from the basement. Can we blow up a building with all of us in it?
Push it in, blow it up.
Yeah, toss it down.
You know, just our zombie friends hanging onto it right now. So,
Can we all get out of the building real quick?
Remember that there's still 2 children down the hall who are staring blankly.
Possessed
Actually,
children.
no, you don't know that because you can't see them.
So did we free Sarah?
Sarah
she
Fisher
ran.
ran out of the building.
Okay, she
As
was
soon as
gone.
Ryder
Okay.
got her out, she was like, thank you, and ran.
Okay.
So she's no longer missing.
Okay. Well, she's missing dust. She's gone. What should I do? Should I keep pushing it back or what?
Are you kicking some ass with your flaming wad of comics?
I mean, it's kind of all I can do. Can I act under pressure with my comics?
What would you like to do with the act under pressure?
I would like to, if I'm running out of fire because she overcharged me, I would like to light one of the whole displays on fire.
Roll. Valid.
5.
You're looking for a spot where you could see like more flammable comics near its lair, and it seems like it's just the shelves, and you would need something with a stronger, higher temperature to kind of ignite the wooden shelves, at least to do so quickly. But you can still do a move.
What can I do? Well, magic doesn't really do much with it, right? We established. I mean, I can shoot it, kick some ass with the magnum.
Okay. In your other hand, you pull the magnum out and fire.
6.
Pew! It's just it's hard to hit this thing because between Ryder grappling it and, you guys are kind of in such close proximity. Marie.
I want to use magic again. You said this, does it have like a open wound basically at this
yes,
point?
several. How are you using magic? Are you trying to use the flame from the torch to a...
Well, is that an option still?
Sure. You seemed to be able to bend the energy forces from his comic book torch and sort of make like a short-range flame attack against it.
Okay, let's keep going with the fire. 8.
You singe more of it. It screeches in pain and fear, and you see it beginning to retreat. It kind of like is trying to shake its head to shake Ryder off of it and starts to try to back down. You're up.
Still kind of concerned on the building exploding. But it's visibly like retreating.
Yes.
I'm gonna start head back and get the kids out of here.
You you turn around the corner, you see that the 2 kids who were standing there aren't standing there.
They're just gone.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, they didn't run through the front, so you're assuming they ran out the back. For some reason, they must have snapped out of the trance.
This puppy.
What's it?
Blow this puppy.
Oh yeah, well I think I'm reloading anyways, but I'm gonna reload and tell Morty to blow this thing up.
Okay.
So I'm still gonna kind of move back.
Okay. You do. What would you like to do?
How much of the kids are gone?
Okay. He kind of steps back a little bit. You see him reloading. He looks down the hallway. He's like, the kids are gone. Blow this shit up. And slams the clip back in. You're up.
So should I fire at him again then?
We all retreat?
Or do I just retreat and let Morty do his thing? I guess I'll retreat and let Morty do his thing.
Okay. You back up with your gun.
Yep.
What do? You heard this yelling in the background.
Can I prepare in action for Morty for when he
Sure.
tosses
What would you
fire
like
down?
to do?
I would like to knock the shelves over to block the hole
Okay.
so that the rat can't get out after we throw the
Yes.
flame in.
So you're starting to back up to get ready to do that.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I am acting under pressure to throw the flaming comic books towards the hole where the fumes are coming out of,
Good. Roll.
as moving back as we're all beelining for the exit and blown to safety. With a natural 12. And a +0 for cool.
Oh. Read a bad situation for me.
Nice.
9.
You feel like you guys should get out of this building quickly.
Come on, gang.
As you kind of whip the flaming torch of comic books at the rat as it's retreating, you see it kind of go down, and Ryder reaches up and just hulks and pulls down the shelves over it, and turns, and this is like all in slow motion, and you're like, let's go. You're running towards
He laughed.
the back hallway, and Sarah's like running after, and you're running after. The lights are flickering on and off now and starting to like go off one by one. You need to make me, you're the last two out, you're gonna need to make me act under pressure rolls. And I don't want to put any pressure on you, but if you fail, you will probably die. And or need to blow a luck point.
Quick interjection. I have the leave no one behind move.
Game on!
So I can help someone escape. I can roll a sharp. On a 10 plus, I get them out clean. On a 7 or 9, I can either get them out or suffer no harm.
I'm going to have you make that roll before they make their rolls.
Okay.
And then you will choose who to help.
Before we were? Yeah.
So let him make his roll.
And that is an 11. So I can get them out clean.
Okay, so one of you will be saved if you fail your roll.
And it's a
Does he have to keep
guaranteed.
now?
Here's what I think you should do.
Yeah.
Because I like random
I'll roll for
surprises.
it.
You're gonna roll one die.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 is Liam. 4, 5, 6 is Adam.
Okay.
Okay. So we know what that is. Now both of you roll.
And this is act under pressure.
Yeah. This is you guys
Cool.
getting out of the building.
That's a negative 1 for me.
Something very bad happens.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's a 1.
7. 7. Well, so this is partial success.
That's just
Oh,
fail.
I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well,
So here's what happens. You see him running because he's the one that pulled the shelves down. You're actually ahead of him, and you're like, come on! And he's running towards the door, and he slips on a comic book and starts to fall. And you're like, you already started, right? You were like, come on, you start running. You're halfway down the hallway. He starts to slip on a comic book, and he falls. You hear him, you turn around. And then you see sliding across the comic books, you see John Johnson. And he slides and like kind of slides in and grabs Ryder and starts running, not towards the back, towards the front. He has Ryder under his arm
the
and he
momentum.
runs and they jump through the window and crash through the window in the front. You, however, are so starstruck by this amazing stuff that you turn to run. You make it to the door, but the building explodes, and you're going to take 2 harm as fire blows you out the door. Now, ladies, you should know that it is still heroic, because as Sarah and Vivi are out in the yard drenched in cat bodies, you see Morty running and like the brightest, most explosive light blows him out the door and he skids, like the back of his hair is burned. He skids across the concrete and through the cat guts and he like lands in front of you guys and he's like, ow, ah. But you don't see Ryder and you don't see John. The building is on fire, burning, rapidly burning. What would you like to do?
well, but I was lost in the heroicness of it.
Yes.
And I saw them.
You're picking yourself off the ground.
Yeah.
You like you wipe something off your cheek. It was part of a cat's arm, and you kind of flick it at the ground, and you see them looking very concerned. Just beyond the gate, you see the 3 children, and they look normal, and they're like 2 of them are crying, and like little Sarah's like holding one of their hands, and she's like, "It'll be okay. It's over now," and she's trying to comfort them. Morty picks himself up off the asphalt, and he looks at you 2.
They made it out, guys. John Johnson saved the day. Slipped in there. Slipped on some comic books. They're out front.
There was a 50-50 chance that he would have saved you and Liam would have been doomed. But I did say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Got that 3. That worked out.
Games of chance. As you guys kind of, I'm assuming you are going to leave the back of this area because the building is getting hot and it's burning. What do you do with the children, Chosen?
Usher them to the front of the building.
You go around to the somewhere, right? You get around to the front of the building, all of you, kind of helping the kids, and you see Ryder, who looks pretty tore up, and John, who's like pulling shards of glass out of his hair and like off of his clothes, and you see the building starting to burn behind you. And you guys watch for a short time as the building burns. And then, not too long after that, you start to hear sirens. What would you like to do?
We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I don't think the people of Lad really.
I kind of want to ask these children. I know this is kind of
Sarah
an intense-
Marshall looks at you.
Okay.
She says, "Thank you for saving us."
Of course.
She looks at the other kids, who seem to be maybe like 2 years younger than her, and she says, she hears the sirens, she looks and she says, are we safe now?
Yeah, rip that Band-Aid off on them?
This is your destiny. Did we leave the fourth girl just
She just passed out.
Retcon that, I would say.
Okay, scoop her up.
In the interest of being a kind person, as you are leading the other three away, you pick up the girl and she's come around. Like as you carried her, she's sort of coming around in confusion. You guys have kind of pacified the children. And again, Sarah looks at you and says, "Are we safe now?"
Yes. For now.
And as you say that, John gives a nudge towards the truck.
We gotta go.
It's a small town. They'll be here in about 60 seconds.
Let's go.
Okay, gotta go.
Big
Let's
BM.
go.
You guys run to the truck, limp to the truck, and you make it to the truck, you get in the truck, and you start heading out of town.
Kids, don't do drugs.
Your parting words to Sarah are, "You earned a new badge for your Girl Scout crew."
You are heading out of town, and in the rear view of the truck, you see like sirens. It looks like the fire district is arriving, and you guys drive into the night to return to your humble abodes in the Chicago area. And that is where we will end this episode of Monster of the Week. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you guys all had fun. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll have another adventure with this gang soon. Peace out.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allan World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that, because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.